Hello, I am Gregory the Poor Typist, and welcome to another edition of Typewriter Club Live. And today our typing prompt is favorite holiday-related movie, book, or song. And we have a couple people waiting for us, so let's get this party started. Yes, so favorite holiday movie, book, or song. Yeah. I will say my favorite Christmas movie of all time is It's a Wonderful Life. Um, yeah, I can never get enough of it. Hey, Sean, how are you?
Good morning. Good. How are you guys?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Gregory,
Yeah.
how did everything turn out with your situation? Is everything okay?
Well, we had to put our younger dog to sleep, so
Oh, I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't have started off with that. Hi, everybody on the live stream.
Just get it out of the way.
Yeah. I'm sure other people will ask, but yeah, I've been wondering all week. And anyway, sorry
I
about that.
appreciate it. Yeah, and actually, it's been a very warm feeling because I've had people send me letters and well wishes and that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
God, well, I'm sorry. Anyway, happy Sunday.
Yes, happy Sunday. Yeah, definitely. And anything new in your world?
Oh, yes, I got lots new. I mean, 1 week off from
You
Typewriter
know,
Club
right?
causes lots of new things to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Typewriters and boxes of typewriters and yeah, all sorts of
Yes.
stuff.
And I see we have an elf in the house.
Yes, we do.
How
Good
are you,
morning,
bud?
all. Pretty good. How are you hanging in there, Gregory?
It's tough. I don't know if
Yep.
you heard, but yeah, we had to put our younger dog to sleep. So
Young Madeline, yes. Yep. Yeah, I have been following what's happening. We've lost our fair share of pets, and um, what Juliana says is the day you don't feel sad about putting a pet down is the day you should no longer have pets.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I did actually post a comment in the member forum
Oh,
about
okay.
that.
I'll have to check
And
that. Yeah.
yes, and also put up attached a picture of our little Andy and Maggie before we had them put down.
Oh, yeah.
I've got them sitting in the sidecar of a Russian motorcycle. So
Oh, that's fun.
yeah.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
So good morning, Sean.
Good morning, William. How are you?
Pretty good yourself?
I'm good, thanks. Knocking stuff over here, but all good otherwise.
Yeah. I see you have a silent super in
Yeah, I
pale
got
tan.
this is the later desert tan, so I call it Arctic snow because
Okay.
it's actually much lighter than the regular desert tan, and I had to buy it to compare.
Yes, I have one of those also. I thought it was just faded, but
Yeah, well, you know, one of the other things I saw afterwards, I mean, this is instead of being dark brown, this is gray as well. The stripes are a lot lighter, and they dropped the line in 1958 or 59 because all the Smith Corona logos had a little line underneath, but then this one doesn't. So they just obviously
okay.
changed the desert tan.
Right. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Anyway,
A line molded right into the insert.
right, yeah, and so that's gone, and yeah, so yeah, there you are. So this is the later version of desert tan, but it's so faded. I'm calling it Arctic snow because it's like a Canadian with no sun for 8 months.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. Regardless, it's a very nice looking typewriter.
Yeah, you know what? It's actually pretty darn awesome for the color and the way the tones work. Like I I'm a real sucker for good looking tones on typewriters, and everything works. And I mean, these things are just bulletproof. I mean, I can't say enough about the Silent Super generation, you know, the late 50s. I mean, these things are just they're not much to repair and fix, and they're fun to use, and they're always solid. And if you're having a little finicky something with another typewriter, like let's say a Royalite, well, Smith Corona is the one you go back to.
Yes.
Ah,
The other thing about the Smith Coronas is that with the pantograph assembly under the keys, all the escapement is so easy to access.
Yes.
You don't have
Beautiful.
all those type bars going right to the back rail.
Yeah. And a single source of uppercase and lowercase adjustment, easy to access and touch and fix. It's great compared to a Royal. I love Royals. I'm a big Royal fan, but boy, oh boy,
Yeah.
I love adjusting alignment on Smith Coronas.
The one thing I did find with some of the early Smith Coronas is that the rubber bumper for the, I think it was either uppercase or lowercase shift stop tends to flatten out.
Mm.
And the two go out of adjustment. So what I just did was to replace it with a piece of, it's a 1/16 thick gasket material.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've had one wear out or not.
In the flat tops anyway.
Oh, yeah. Flat
Yeah,
top.
so going back quite a few years.
Everything goes flat in a flat top eventually.
Yeah.
So Sean, you mentioned you have a lot of new things.
Well, so this was my new thing because I had to get this to compare to a regular desert tan. So I did that. And then I also got my taxi cab yellow Underwood 4-bank, which some people here will have seen if they were on Instagram. But I bought it because I thought, I wasn't sure. It had its decals on it, and I should go get it wherever the heck I put it.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, but it's
Good morning, Andrew.
Good evening.
Oh, of course, the evening where you were there.
Yeah.
How it goes with you? How it goes with you these days?
I'm all right.
That's good.
We have another we call it evening lockdown. So everything has to be closed at 5 o'clock, and the news just got out that it's going to be continued until after New Year. So
Oh,
for me,
Curfew.
it's not too bad, but for my wife, she's well, her shows they stopped, so she's unemployed till the end of January.
oh boy.
Oh my. Yeah.
Oh.
Luckily, I'm still have a job. So last year when we had a total lockdown, we both didn't have a job. So now it's okay.
Well, that's good.
And of course, we have, I'm not sure, Christmas tree.
Christmas tree. Yes.
Very good.
Beautiful.
All right. And Sean, you were going to show us a typewriter.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So I bought it because it was, where are we here? Yeah.
Okay.
Yellow and purple.
Yeah.
And, but the reason why I got it was because of the decals were like on it. So it's got all of its decals on the front, as well as on the paper table and the ribbon reverse decal, and then the decals on the back. And so I thought, well, if it had its decals, I mean, it's got to be a professional repaint or factory, even though I don't think Underwood in the 30s would have ever done a purple and yellow combo. And they were pretty crazy stuff, but not that crazy.
Yeah.
So I got it, and yeah, it is a repaint. I think it was redone probably in the 50s. And then somebody who has access to, or had access at the time to parts, the parts houses, who would have sold replacement decals for Underwoods. And it was probably this Little's out of Seattle, because this is where this typewriter was born and raised and lived all its life until I got it. So it works great. It's missing its spool covers. It would have had those little UT branded punched spool covers. And
yeah,
now I really need to get those because I want to get the paint matched, paint them yellow, and put them on there and really pop this thing. But that's not a financially effective thing to do, right? I mean, that's stupid, but I don't know. I'm willing to waste the money and the time and the effort just to get yellow spool covers. And then other than that, I got my first typewriter box, which I will show if I can here.
Okay.
Oh, I see it.
So yeah, that's
Oil.
that is a Royal KMM box from 1938.
Okay.
Shipped to Vancouver, and yeah, it's
That's
got a
exciting.
serial number and everything on it, and
Wow.
Now I want to find the original KMM that went in it.
I know, right? That would be amazing.
Right. Anyway,
Very
so
cool.
that's it for me. I mean, a couple typewriters in a box. Sorry, you had to go through what you went through last week, Gregory, but it allowed me time to catch up and buy more stuff to show off.
I know, right? Excellent, excellent. Is that box in pretty good shape? Like,
It's in really good shape. Somebody was smart enough to keep the bottom because, the bottom itself was what came, you put the typewriter on, they screwed it to the bottom, and then they put the top over it, screwed it all together, and then shipped it out. The bottom's there. Somebody's put hinges on the one side to hold that piece there. So it's all original. It's got the name of the typewriter shop that it was shipped to from Royal Typewriters in Vancouver. And I've got a Royal P that's got that decal on it for that same dealer. Although it's just a portable, not a KMM. But yeah, everything's on there. It's good. It's a little faded on the top, but you can read it and you can see the addresses and all that. But the Royal Typewriter logo on both sides is like the
are you gonna take any steps to preserve it or just leave it as is? Or
you know what, Gregory, I always have a really hard time with that because there's a term for it. I'm a no harm typewriter collector. I don't do things like I've seen people do good things with typewriter boxes, like building coffee tables around them. Some people have built with them, and I think that's horrible. But I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. So for now, it's going to stay as a display piece. I don't think I can do anything with it. I don't want to lacquer it. I don't want to seal it. I don't want to do anything like that because it's dirty, and I'd be sealing all that dirt in there as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do. I guess I'll have to think about it, and eventually I'm sure I'll bump into somebody that's really good with restoration or preservation that might have an idea on that. Or maybe you guys do, because who knows what other skills we all have here. Anyway, no plans right now.
Okay. Do you know what his previous life was? Like, was it in someone's garage or?
Yeah, it was part of a collector out of Victoria, BC. So he obviously was giving up his stuff or getting rid of it all, and then it popped into an antique store, vintage store in Victoria, and I saw it 14 hours after it had been posted. So I thought,
Oh,
for
wow.
sure that's gone.
Yeah.
Because who would not buy that like boom right away?
I know, right?
Yeah. And I texted him, and then I called him and I said, hey, it's Sean in Calgary. He goes, oh, still got that box. And I went, ship it. And it cost me more for shipping because we've had some floods and washouts in that side of the country. So everything had to fly, but it was worth the money to get it here. So I'm really pleased because it's my first crate. These are throwaway things, so they didn't last.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Fun. And William, is there anything new with you?
As far as new, no. I think it's pretty quiet on the typewriter front here. We did have an interesting conversation last night on Type and Talk about Underwoods. So I have a selection of 5 Underwoods here that we'll talk about later.
Excellent.
But let's say hi to some other members for now.
Yeah. And Mike, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm sorry to hear about your pup, and
Thank you.
It's tough. I know how it is. But,
Yeah.
especially sudden like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you doing all right though?
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. And I'll give you a spoiler that this might be a good week for you. You might be receiving something in the mail.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
I look forward to that. Yeah. No hurry.
Finally.
Yes. Well, that's good. Thank you.
Excellent.
Otherwise, but nothing much new here. So I'm trying to type up the sort of Christmas letters to the family. So I figured it would be
Excellent.
good time to do that. I've got the the signature 440, which is the script machine. And,
nice.
I'm surprised how well this thing types. It's a little more comfortable than, the Skywriter is nice, but you have to sort of type with it for a while to get used to it. And this one seems to do pretty well. It's a little noisy, although it's got some good padding in here. But
add a little more.
I
Little
might do
yoga
that
mat.
sometime. It's not bad right now.
some felt, will quiet that sucker right down.
Well, it's got felt everywhere inside of it. So
No, you need more felt.
More
Seriously,
felt, okay.
I stuff the sides and the bottom of the machine until you literally have to shove the sides in to get the screws in and hold
wow.
on so that they don't spring out. Because there's not really anything on the sides of the frame of those machines that
Yeah.
can really be interfered with. Like there's no mechanics out there that need clearance.
Yeah.
So you can stuff those things until they burst basically.
I might have to try that.
Mike, that typewriter's probably not as loud as Ted's jacket, though, is it?
Is that a
I
smoking
don't know, but
ring?
it's there's a pizzazz to the jacket that's the typewriter.
It's awesome.
That's
You like that, huh?
I do.
Yeah, that is
Well,
nice.
it's the holiday season and it's actually cool in here, so I can wear jackets now.
Excellent.
You get to see
It's-
my style.
Now, is that
Wearing
something you
black all the
wore?
time.
Is that something you wore as in a band in the 70s, maybe? Or
80s, yeah.
oh, okay. It looks like a band jacket.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I want to say is I have to agree with Sean about the Smith Coronas. I mean, I've got that Smith Corona Silent, which I probably brought 10 or 20 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
when I didn't know I was a collector, but, or at least I started to, and then I kept putting them away because I didn't have anything to type with them. But, and everything else came after that one. And I get that thing out and I almost wonder why I bought other typewriters because it types so well. It's just, it was kind of gummy for a while. And I think I might have hit it with WD-40 at one point just to try to get rid of the gum, which of course made it worse. But but once I got it clean, it's just, it types beautifully, and it's probably the quietest machine I have.
Nice.
And it's not even a super, it's just plain silent, but it's great.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And Ted, now you have your smoking jacket on, but where's your fez?
It's right up there on the
Yeah. I know you have one.
on Jake.
Oh, yeah.
Jake's wearing it right now. See, he's up there. You can see it in
Oh yes.
Yes.
the corner.
There we go.
And to learn how to point. There we go.
Yeah. Excellent. And how are you, sir?
I'm good.
Excellent. Excellent.
In good health and happy and
Excellent.
let's see. What did I do?
Anything new for you?
Not typewriter wise. I just have I finished some feet for an order for a shop in Colorado. So
Wow.
that guy goes through a lot of Hermes 3000s. Let me tell you, he
Wow.
must buy them specially and refurb them as a specialty thing. So because he
Yeah.
goes through a lot of feet. I know that.
Yeah.
These are my Ted Monk Hermes 3000 feet. And I gotta
Nice.
say,
There you go.
sticky. Awesome. Awesome.
That typewriter's not going anywhere.
Oh no.
Excellent.
Yep, a gecko grip.
Echo Monk grip.
Kung Fu grip.
Now, Ted, I do have to say, yesterday I was working on my Royal Apollo 10,
Mm-hmm.
and I was having some sticking issues with the characters that was causing them not to reach the platen. They would fall back, but they wouldn't reach the platen. So I did some cleaning. When it's on the black setting, it can still or it reaches the platen now, and it types
Mhm.
pretty okay. But when I have it on the red setting, about half the time they don't reach the platen. And I'm like, what does the ribbon have to do with this?
That is very confusing. Normally, if the type bars don't reach the platen, you've either got a ring and cylinder issue, or there's the line lock is engaging, or is half engaged, or something that causes it to block the type bars. But
Okay.
if it's, so I don't know what the ribbon would have
Yeah.
really to do with that at all.
I don't know.
unless the mechanism is so sticky that it's affecting the universal bar,
Okay.
which could block the, yeah, because it is actually connected to the universal bar, and so if that's gummy, then it could affect the velocity of the type.
Okay.
But that's the only thing I can think of that would be ribbon related.
Yeah.
My other thought would be the ribbon tension itself. If the ribbon is not feeding freely enough, it could be holding up the entire universal bar line ribbon feed mechanism.
Good point. Yeah, that's the easiest thing to check.
Yeah. I was doing a lot of typing with each key, and it seemed like the ribbon was advancing fine, but I could be wrong though. So,
Go ahead and check that, and that's an easy thing to check. So
exactly.
it would just be under high tension.
Okay.
Yes. What I have seen is on a couple of machines is for the ribbon to be so tight, it worked like a little trampoline for the keys to actually strike and bounce off before they hit the platen. That makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the trampoline analogy. I'm going to use that one. That one's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I haven't given up on it yet, but I got to the point yesterday where I was like, okay, this doesn't make sense. So I'm just going to stop. And I don't know, maybe I'll send it Bob's way and see what he can do with it. But because my patience for such things is very low. Yeah. But anyway, but anything else for you, Ted?
Oh, no, I'm just answering a question in chat. So.
Oh yeah.
I was a little distracted.
Oh no, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, nothing. Updated the Smith Corona Electric serial numbers in the typewriter database. So
yeah, I read your blog post about that.
Now you got some numbers back to 1956. So
nice.
That would be. And I redated all the machines in the database, so they have the right numbers on them.
Wow.
And so that's sort of exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
That's been a bone of contention for a while.
I know, right? Excellent. And Kim, how are you doing?
Good.
Excellent. Anything new for you?
Yes. I've got my first antique shop find, a Royal QDL, 1953. It has one metal spool, but the other spool is plastic. So I've never seen that. Like usually I've seen either both originals or no. I've never seen one. So that's weird, but whatever.
People always swap the one. Well, when they get a new ribbon, it comes on a reel. And
okay.
A lot of times they'll just attach the other end to the original spool. That's why a lot of Remington portables have the right spool, but not the left spool, or maybe it's the other way around. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's the other way around.
Since they're marked, they have it written on the outside. A lot of times the one spool that's on the right, it's the right spool, is just missing on those. They're so rare.
On these older Remington portables, I believe that a left spool is a part of the typewriter, but the right spool comes as a separate item with ribbon loaded on it.
The one I have, they're both separate spools. It's like you're talking about like the Remy Scout, or
yes,
older than that. No, they have individual spools.
Okay, because quite often you'll see right top on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the left is always gone usually.
Yes, the left long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Discrimination against left-handed people.
So
Okay,
are we basically saying that that's a result of people wanting to spool just one way and not have to respool on both ends, or?
Well,
like
yeah, when the spool comes, it comes on a spool that's normally wrapped this way, and so they'll put it on the right side, because that's usually that's the one that runs that way. But it's just common practice back then that, oh, I just got a new ribbon, I got a new spool, and they didn't really think about, keeping the old spool. So that's why, those metal spools are, sometimes you'll find one in there, sometimes you won't find any at all, but
yeah.
it depends on the owner. That's why it's interesting. A lot of times I've found machines with the metal spool, the original spools inside, and I find a lot of them, which makes me think that not a lot of people even bothered changing their ribbons when they bought a typewriter. They may not have used it enough to even, warrant changing the ribbon at all. Like my Remington Portable was that way. It was basically unused when I got it. All the rubber was hard, but it still had its original spools. The platen didn't actually have any that checkerboard marking on it that would indicate that it had been used a lot. It's hard as a rock, but it was smooth. So, I mean, a lot of people bought machines and just didn't use them all that much.
Yeah.
Tossed them in a closet.
Yeah. And if we end up with those, we're pretty lucky.
Yeah, it's a really good sign when you find one with both original spools on it and not much checkerboarding on the platen.
Exactly.
I think it happened more and more as time went on, right? In the 60s and 70s, when typewriters became cheaper and more attainable for a wider group of people. I found a lot of classic 12s and super Sterlings and those, those funny looking Smith Coronas from the 60s and 70s that have that original red, SCM sticker on top of the spool. And those are original to that typewriter. And, 8 times out of 10, they're still in there. So yeah, I don't think, at least those ones in the 60s and 70s, they didn't get used a lot. Not enough to change the ribbon.
And like those Nakajimas from Sears, I would find those in thrift stores for, a long time, and you'd open it up and it would just not even be touched. And those are from the 80s.
Yeah.
So, by the time people were buying machines then, they may have written one letter on it and threw it in the closet.
Wow.
Good for us.
Yeah. A lot of those machines are just basically brand new. You just replace the belts and the shift stop pads because those disintegrate immediately.
Wow.
So is a typewriter from the 80s considered vintage? I mean, it's 40 years old, so it should be implied, shouldn't it?
It depends on your definition. I mean, it's cold. Well, I wouldn't even call it classic because they're kind of crap, but
It's been a gray area.
yeah, but they're old. You can call them aged.
Really are.
I think they just wouldn't qualify as antique because antique, I think you have to be over a certain number.
100
years.
Yeah.
100 years is an antique?
or
Yes.
older. They're older.
Or
Yeah.
older, I mean, yeah. It used to be 20 for cars, but I think that's old too.
Yeah, 25 here.
25 for a
Cars.
car.
Ah.
Yeah. So I guess my Ford Explorer is antique now,
Mm.
even though it's half rusted out.
They have any-
What's left of it is an antique.
Yeah.
The rest is new. The rest of it's antique.
Yeah.
Remember, it's not the age, it's the mileage.
Indiana Jones quote.
Yeah. Excellent. And anything? Go ahead.
So on the Etsy site, you're allowed to sell anything that is over 20 years old, because that is then considered vintage.
Okay.
Yeah, but myself, I figure anything over 25 years old is vintage. Over 100 years old is antique.
Okay. That sounds
Yes.
about right.
And,
I think of anything that's, from the 90s as practically new.
Yeah.
yeah,
It kind of seems that way.
90s is
Now we
only
know
like
when
10
you
years
went to
ago.
high school.
I know.
I graduated in 77.
Oh, okay.
You look much younger.
Yes.
Well, thank you. It's just plenty of alcohol helps that.
Pickled. He's been
Keeps the
pickled.
color up.
They say preservatives in food is bad for you, but I have a different theory. I think you eat preservatives, it helps keep you looking young because
Mhm.
of preservatives.
They
Well,
preserve you.
Nobody agrees. with me.
a lot a lot of people say that drinking is a problem, but according to chemistry, alcohol is a solution.
Yeah, well,
Oh my god. You have a joke for every occasion.
He's got them lined up.
Yeah. Oh man.
So,
That's funny.
good morning, Jason.
Oh, we don't have
think you're
sound for you,
muted.
Jason.
How about now?
Ah, there we go.
yeah.
There you go.
How are
Yeah,
you?
sorry, William, I got to write that one down. That was very good. I need that joke.
Anything new in your world?
In my world?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I can't stay for too long. William, you've inspired me.
Oh.
There you go.
So in Toronto, we've had a bunch of snow recently, and yesterday we had a really warm day. And temperature went up to about 14 degrees Celsius. Today it's going to be about 5. So I've been out at my backyard shed doing some work that I can't do indoors, and that includes cleaning out typewriters with turpentine or mineral spirits or whatever. So I'm going to run out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to run out into the yard and do some more of that this afternoon. But if I can share my screen, I'll show you what's on my workbench right now.
Yeah, go for it.
So, whereabouts in Toronto are you?
I'm sort of in the east end of the city, if you're familiar with the Danforth area.
Okay. Yep. See this Challenger.
So this is
Smith Corner.
yeah, and this had the original reels in it too. The
Metal ones?
So this might fall into what Ted was just talking about people never changing out their their ribbons, because this one looks really, when I bought it, it looked mint, but it's really dirty. I don't know how it got so dirty, because it doesn't look like it's been used a lot. But the ribbon reverse mechanism isn't working properly. So I got to work on that. And I want to thank Ted for posting those manuals online, because I don't know how I would have ever figured out how to even get the case off this without the Smith Corona. I think it's the 6 series manual. So
6YC, yeah.
yeah,
That's those are I mean, the original Skywriter is so easy to get apart, and then they made these plastic shells ones, and oh, there's so many steps to it. Little plastic tabs you got to undo, and
and you have to bend 2 metal tabs with a special twisting tool.
Yeah,
so you can get the cover off.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
if you do it right, you do that. But if you don't know what you're doing, you can get those things munged up pretty bad.
Yeah, they're on little bars that are attached to the frame on this one that fell off actually as I was wrestling the cover off. So
yeah,
hopefully I can get it back together again.
It's complicated.
And this is the other one, which I think is just a rebadged Royal.
Yeah, well,
it's a Halberd.
Halberd Traveler, yeah.
Yep, made in Holland.
And I'm not quite sure what the vintage of that is, but
the early 60s.
That one, the drawband is not attached, so I'm going to open it up this afternoon, and I can do that one. I think I can do that one in the house, so I don't need warm weather for that. But anytime I got to clean anything out, I got to do it outside.
Yep.
So my window of doing that work in Toronto is going to close in the next few days, I think.
Oh boy.
You got to get them running like sewing machines before then, eh?
That's an
Hurry.
Art Deco kind of look. It's sort of a cross between Art Deco and mid-century with the little round thing you got in front of it. I've never seen one of those. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I want to thank people like Bob and people like Ted, and Joe's not on here, but Joe, like I've been watching those YouTube videos and things and reading articles online, and that's really been a real pleasure and a lot of fun in terms of getting into these machines and figuring out what's connected to what, and hopefully being able to get them back together again. There's another channel that I was watching. I was just wondering if anyone, I couldn't see who it was from the channel. It's called Hot Rod typewriter company.
Oh, yeah.
Garen is his name. He just
Garen?
showed, yeah, Garen,
Garen.
like Gary, but Garen. So, yeah, he just recently popped up on YouTube for me too. So I've been watching a lot of his videos. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
And he's fearless.
Yeah.
He'll tear those things apart any which way. But he's not reckless, just fearless.
Oh yeah. He I think his latest ones, he just bought a bunch of JJ Short refurbished
Yeah.
platens, and so he's been putting them in his machines and marveling at the wonderfulness of a fresh platen. So
I haven't done that before myself. I'm trying to judge which machines are worth,
the
getting
older the
that
better.
cost. Yeah.
If you got a nice
Yes.
old 30s machine that you like to type on, put fresh rubber on that, and it'll make a world of difference.
Yeah.
Well, to give you an idea, Jason, I've got a 1936 Imperial Good Companion that I bought in England, brought over with me in 2013. Had J.J. Short redo the platen on that, and the best way I can describe it is if you imagine you have a 1964 Ford Thunderbird all tuned up, ready to go, but you're still running on the old weather-checked, weather-hardened bias-by tires, it handled like a bag of dirt. But instead of new performance radios on it, it's a different vehicle.
Wow.
And you can't underestimate the smell of new rubber. It is
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh,
It's like the new car smell.
oh, it's even better.
Yeah.
Like I would like new car, but a new rubber platen, you're just like, I don't know if I want to put this in.
Like a fine cigar.
Oh, it's like people
Don't like
said
the
that
end.
before I got platens done, and then it wasn't until I actually got it. I was like, oh, now I understand. Like it's like grass or smells you like. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's a thing you don't get until you actually get one and you experience typing on one, and then you're like, oh, this is what it was meant to be like.
The
Yes.
original.
Take a
This
cologne
This is
out of
what
it.
people liked, in the 30s or 40s when they got a brand new typewriter and they were typing along and it felt so good.
It didn't sound like a big truck.
Yeah.
Does it deaden the sound quite a bit?
Oh, yes.
It does.
Depends
Yeah.
on the typewriter.
Hmm.
To give you
Yeah,
an
you really-
idea,
I have a feeling most people don't think
you
about it.
the sound of a typewriter goes from a sharp clack to a dull thud.
Hmm.
Yeah, whoever was
That makes
mentioning
sense.
it earlier about putting all that insulation in their machine, it is important because it'll wear my chest out if a machine has an old platen. I can feel it in my chest first
Mhm.
after 15, 20 minutes. You're like, I'm really in pain for some reason. I need more insulation around,
Yeah. Yeah.
But for me, it's always the smell of burning rubber when I'm, recovering the platens, trying to get half a mil off the original or whatever. So
Oh,
totally
Bob.
different experience.
Thank you for your video on that, because I'm going to try that on one of my very old Skywriters. It's got
Yeah.
a really lumpy platen because of all the wearing in of the type.
Yeah, well, and the trick is to make sure, if you've got 95, 97 durometer around the whole thing, and you can evenly get just that half a mil off. I think a Skywriter is like 22.75 mil originally. So maybe it's down to like 22.3, and you need to get it down to usually the Heinrich tubing's about 1.2 mil. So you got to get it down a bit, so you'll work with it for a bit, but as long as you can get it to work in a very cylindrical fashion, you'll be good. Lately, I've really had to learn to really be conscious of that because I've hit a few. It was about 2 months ago. I hit two of them thinking they were good candidates for recovering, and they just got real lumpy. And before you know it, it's all over the place. So I just had to ship them off to JJ. So I think sometimes if you attack one and you think it's a good candidate and it doesn't work out, that's okay. Even I've done that. So, but yeah, have a good time and keep your measurements. Luckily, Monk has the measurements up. I think a Skywriter is 22 something, so 22.75 millimeter or something.
Little narrow platens, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, have fun with it, and it makes a world of difference. And the one that I love, I did 5 years ago, and it's still rocking along without an issue. The durometer is wonderful, and that's why I believed in it. I had to do one and then wait a few years and see if it was really worth talking about. So, but it works. So I bet you probably 30-40% of the platens that I want to redo, I'm able to recover instead of shipping them out to JJ Short. So it saves the customer a bit of money, saves me a bit of hassle, and the end product is worth it in my opinion. So I'm happy to sell it to my customers.
Excellent.
So what kind of heat shrink tubing do you use?
Oh, I don't use the marine grade. I use the other grade. And I bought from two separate companies to see what the differences were. And one company had pretty soft heat shrink tubing, no matter what ratio, you shrunk it down to. And the other one was hard enough. And by hard, I mean 85% or better to qualify for a platen. So I ended up, the company on eBay that sells the big stuff worked out real well. So eBay won over Amazon, for lack of a better term, right? Yeah.
Excellent. And anything else new with you, Jason?
No, I've got just a bunch of dirty typewriters I'm trying to figure out what to do with. And
yeah. Okay, excellent. Well, it's good seeing you. And I don't think you had a beard the last time you were on. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is my Christmas gift to my wife. So she likes the beard. I'm not a big fan, but not having to shave for a few weeks is kind of nice too. So
yes. Well, it looks good on you, sir.
Thank you.
Excellent. And Bob, you had your event. How'd it go? Oh dear.
We had the event. The event was marvelous. Hundreds of people showed up. It was very busy, and it was nice to really dial in the new shop. By new shop, I mean my trailer. My trailer is big enough to be a shop, and we were able to have a handful of people in there at a time. I was able to do repairs on the spot for people. People were very receptive of that. I think it meant a lot to people to be able to bring me a machine and go, well, this isn't working right. Can you just fix this part? I'll put ribbon on it when I get home, whatever it may be. Well, okay, yeah, okay. And this, that, and the other. And from the 3 of those I did, when people got home, it worked just fine. It's always hard as a mechanical person to make sure you've always dotted your I's and crossed your T's in that relation. And so I didn't think I would like that, but I liked it just fine. And it worked out well. A lot of people left me their machines, and they're going to catch up with me again in LA or here in Riverside to pick them up. Some people came out from Riverside to LA just because they knew I'd be there. And that was exciting because a few of the machines, and I'm sure William can attest to this, a few of the machines, it was, well, the machine does this. And I go, well, it's not doing that now. So let me pay attention to that part of it. Yeah, I can't find anything broken, give me $20, get out of here. I mean, there's nothing I can do for you and I think it's very exciting to see in the user's eyes that if you're a little softer with the machine or a little harder with the machine, you're going to get a better product. And I've learned lately that a lot of it has to do with desk placement. So many of us have a 29-inch high desk, and if you put the typewriter on a 26 or 27-inch desk, you're going to get a much better typing product. And I need to repost. I can't tell you guys enough that latest video that Joe Van Cleve did regarding, he calls it the hamster perch. I think that's going to make a world of difference to so many people. And I hope people build them, use them, enjoy them. I think that's going to be the future. I know I had to make a real decision when I have a bunch of 3x6 portable tables that I can put out in front of but that wasn't going to work because people at 3x6,
you're cutting out, Bob.
Too low for people to successfully type on any machine, really. Several $700. How about now? Did it come back in?
So far, so good. Yeah.
No? Hmm.
Oh,
Okay, well, thank you for telling me. Yes,
yeah.
so I had to invest in all these 2x4 tables that are taller. That way the customer can stand and type on a typewriter to try out a typewriter. So that's been my big secret weapon lately. And that's really helped. All I've done lately, it seems, is the shop, the new shop, the new shop, the new shop. Means for customers. The new shop is great. I'm not going to be like hitting flea markets or vintage markets or anything like that with it. I'm really looking forward. I might. I mean, we'll see if I can find a good one. I know here in Riverside, we've got a great market downtown, and I think I'm going to set up there once a month just so people have somewhere to find me, get their machines repaired as needed or leave me their machines for repair, and I'll be back the next month.
Yeah.
That type of thing. But there's been so many challenges because I've only seen a few real typewriter shops these days. And certainly I've never seen a mobile typewriter shop. So transporting the typewriters are a really big freaking deal. I've probably spent $30 in netting and packaging and shelving for every machine that I transport. So it gets real expensive real quick. I just can't, set a machine somewhere because you go flying down the road, it's going to bounce around or bounce
Yeah.
off the shelf, and I certainly don't have the real estate on the floor just to throw it on the floor and hope for the best, right?
Yeah.
Soon enough, so managing it's going to be a lot. If there were people at the event who just wanted to give me typewriters, and so I have to equate for that. I need space for 5 more machines anytime I go somewhere. For who knows? Some of the machines ended up in my excursion, right? I just threw them in the back of the truck. I mean, what are you supposed to do with them? So the event went off wonderfully. Everybody was amazing. We had a very good setup team. They were very professional people who knew what this event needed to be for the vendors, for themselves. And I set it up out front. It was my buddy's shop. It's called Typewriter Connection, and it's located inside of like a large maker space. The space is called As We Dwell, and there are always weddings and events, and a church meets there, and so there's always exciting stuff happening. So we were able just to get that space, and I was able to set my trailer up in front of the Hike 2 people and a few other people. So it was great. People could come by, hop in the trailer, look what I had for sale. So that was exciting. And then they would hop on inside as needed. I could not have imagined a better turnout. Financially, the trailer hasn't proven to quote unquote be worth it yet, but I'm going to give it 2 years. I've already made the 2-year commitment, to myself and to others that I'm going to do the mobile thing for 2 years. And it's, in the long run, it's probably cheaper and easier than, paying $1,500 a month for a brick and mortar somewhere and having to staff that. I'm very fortunate in the team. For people who don't know, I've got a wonderful girlfriend. I've got a great son who assists me. He's 15. He's very good. I have a wonderful secretary who's worked with me for 20 plus years, and I've got 2 apprentices. So I've got a lot of good people around me. I'm very fortunate to have these people around me. Yes, they cost money, and that's okay. They're happy to show up. They get really excited about my dream and bringing typewriters to the people. So I think the trailer is going to act more as, here's the shop, here's what it's going. I'm not here to huck machines, for lack of pedal my machines. I'm not here to necessarily do that. There are machines for sale. I usually never have more than 10 or 15 machines for sale because I'm just too busy doing repairs. And, you know, we're going to travel as needed. It's so expensive to start my excursion, hitch up the trailer and drive somewhere. But these are my costs in doing business. So I'm having a lot of fun figuring out if it's worth it or not. So I'm very excited. I hope in the future, I've got a buddy, he's a librarian, similar to Gregory over at RCC though. And so he wants to have me come in, set up the trailer, set up some easy reps and get kids playing with typewriters and do like a class for the college kids on how to do typewriters next to the trailer on a beautiful day. So things like that I think will be more of the future. But anyways, I'm thanks for letting me share. It's been a lot of fun. I thought about, did anybody want a tour of the new shop? Or I haven't really posted too many pictures about it, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
typewriter related. Come and see it.
You're so kind. That's so great. Well, let me, I'm in my garage right now and the trailer sits in front of my garage. Let me find the sun. Oh, the sun is like perfectly. So I'll just run you down the side of I had like big holes. This is a 1967 Ideal trailer. And so I had to like cover up all these holes, this whole wall on the inside. When I get inside, it'll make sense. But let me look at the biggest thing I want to show you guys. I'm on solar. I built my own solar. There it is.
Nice.
Okay.
This is all my solar. This is how I power myself. This trailer came with all this solar technology. There are 2 monster panels on the roof and none of it was hooked up. So I had to hook it all up and make it all work and make sense of it. But it didn't come with a transfer switch. So I literally just plug myself into myself. That line goes all the way down to the back of the trailer. So that's my funniest thing. I love telling people I get to plug myself into myself. So I'm running all on solar. This is the side window. The sun is in like the perfect spot not to do this. Let me see if I can. So right, so this is the front of the trailer, right? So usually that cover opens up and my bench is right inside. So as people are walking by, they can see me from 3 angles wrenching on whatever I'm wrenching on. And I think people really enjoy that.
Mhm.
Let me
Yeah. So that is what we used to call a caravan back in England.
A camper?
A caravan.
Caravan. Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
We just it's a camper. Well, that's a funny thing. The DMV's got it wrong there. But yeah, it's it's a camper. And initially you would walk in and there would be to the right here would be the sitting table, but this is my bench.
Mhm.
So this is my bench. Everything has to get tied down when I'm in transport, of course. And
Yep, that makes sense.
yeah, and that's the fun part. So I've got my parts and whatnot kind of underneath. I'm still trying to get all the NOS bins figured out. This is my sales rack. And so anytime I transport a machine, this is what I'm doing right now. I'll use this one. So the machine is covered in bungees. I literally have a bungee net for each machine. And then I cover it with a cover because we're in Riverside and it's real dusty. And then I've got a piece of cardboard between them just in case. But I also have a nice piece of yoga mat foam underneath it. So as you go down the road, the typers have bounce. They bounce along. I rode back here while my girlfriend drove down the road, and the typers, when you hit a big pothole, instead of the typers going bang or clack, they just bounce a little. I'm trying to show how they bounce. I'm probably not doing a very good job, but
Yeah.
Anywho, they just kind of bounce a little. So that's been that. I do have, my biggest feature is the old bathroom. I've turned into a private area. And I do that just so I can put all my customers' repairs, incoming and outgoing back there. I'm very big on the anonymity of my customers, of course. So that helps. but the private area is just, I don't have any, hang on, I don't have any tags, but I mean, this is the old shower and I built a rack into it, a metal rack into it to hold machines. These two happen to be my machines, so I don't mind transporting them like that. But there's a back window here and another rack on the other side. The only other fun thing is this, and nothing's set up right now, so I look forward to when I get somewhere. This is my other bench here, and this is kind of where all the retail's done. Right now, I've got a few machines I'm bringing in, but in transport, you can see I kind of have a pile of stuff. This is that stairway that Brenda recommended, and it's worked out pretty well. But I just kind of have the pile of stuff that goes outside of the trailer. I just have it kind of racked against there. So it's not the most efficient. I haven't got it all figured out, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. And everything has to be built. It has to be done. There's no, like I built the shelf up here, and this shelf is where the kids used to sleep. But I had to figure out the weight ratio, and I had to figure out that I couldn't make it as deep as I wanted. So everything had to be custom done. And I think it's going to work out well. Running on myself on the solar, having my own electricity has been a thing. One of the biggest things I've been showing off to people is, so I decided not to carry my air compressor or an air compressor. I've got several of them, but I decided to go with this gadget. You guys ever seen this thing?
Electric blower, yeah.
Yeah, it's a handheld blower, and my buddy Tony up in Portland, when I was up there a few months ago to talk at his shop, this is what he was using, and it really is great. I think it enables you to blow out a machine. Obviously, I can't do wet cleaning here. Oh, I just turned the lights on. I just turned my my inverter on. But you hit this button on top, it's spring loaded.
Oh, wow.
It does pretty good.
Wow. That sounds powerful. Uh-oh, I think we lost your audio. Maybe you blew out the microphone on your computer.
Muted. Uh-oh.
No, still no
no.
sound.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know sign language?
Not if you can hear us.
Oh. Well, anyway, thank you for showing that, and hopefully you get your audio working again. But yeah, that was very cool.
We have to probably have to log back out and log back in.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right. Thanks, Bob. All right.
Yeah,
And,
I wish I could see it in person.
Yeah, I know, huh? I saw it, but when I saw it, it wasn't quite finished yet. So yeah, very exciting.
We look forward to the Canadian tour.
Yeah. I know.
And the Southern tour.
Might as well just make it a world tour.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No. Yeah.
Excellent. And Rich, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Excellent.
I have you all I always watch on this big 40-inch screen, and my camera is way down there. So
Nice.
it makes it look like I'm looking up at the sky.
Oh.
But now you know why. It's not like just because I'm crazy, even though that's another story.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I did get, I found a grail, was this, a Smith Corona.
That looks like
Yeah.
Dean
Oh, look how
writer
shiny.
types.
That's beautiful.
Dean Jones work.
Is it
I
silver?
don't know the history. I mean, most of these are over 1,000 when you look at these chrome ones, but this is about half of that. And it's got some issues that I've fixed most of them, but I think it's the spring that's bad. The drawband works, but the spring needs to be repaired. But it still works. All you have to do is put it on an angle, and then the thing types and goes where it's supposed to.
You can probably fix that just by like disconnecting the string on the carriage and giving it a couple more winds and then reattaching it on the spring drum. It's probably just not wound up enough.
Phoenix Typewriter has a video on him fixing this particular type of.
Yes, I was going to say, Rich, that I used that video. You don't even have to remove the drawstring, but you have to bend that little tab, and then give it maybe try one more turn. I would say
Tighten it just a little bit.
Yeah.
So he actually took it apart, and so I'm gonna one day I got to find time to do that.
I don't think you're going to need to take it apart if it just needs more tension.
More tension inside.
Yeah. Usually you only have to take apart the drum if the spring's broken and you need to fix or replace it.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a worst case then. So at least there's that if I have to do it to get drafted.
Well, and I had on my Electra 120, the spring wasn't broken, but there was so much gunk in it that it was essentially stuck, gummed up, and I couldn't just improve it by putting any type of solvent. I tried different types of solvents, and I had to take it apart. I had to clean it all out and reassemble it. It's not that bad if you choose to go that way. But I like Ted says, I would try just tightening it like one turn to start with, and you can try it. And then if not enough, you give it some more, but you can actually work on it after a bit of an adjustment. And once you're okay, you're good with it, then you put the tab back in to lock it, and that'll work.
It's going to take some exploratory surgery, I think. But there was some other things. Like, some of these keys were actually bent, so I just straightened them out. They all work. They work well. I mean, so there's. I'm happy about that. One of the things that I found unique, like I said, I don't know the history of this, but this is hollow. This does. These are holes, and I don't know if somebody was making those and then cutting them out, or if maybe there's the logo actually goes through there. I don't know.
The logo goes through there. When Dean was making those, he made them primarily between about 2010 and 2013, I think.
Yeah.
He was chroming those things, and I don't know if that's a chrome paint or what, but he chromed over the plastic badge on the inside, and so I'm assuming that badge fell out.
Oh yeah, there's nothing in there. It's just hollow.
Normally that would be a plastic badge that he would have painted over. Over. So
when Dean was doing those typewriters, he was actually chemically stripping all the paint off and then putting the bodies in a vacuum chroming chamber for electrochroming. And when that machine would have come from Dean, it would have been 100% gone through. Everything would have been perfect. So it's obviously gone through a couple of different hands since then. To keys bent, to got things damaged and broken like that, because they, with having messaged with Dean, he was saying that those machines, when they leave his shop, are 100%.
And this is actually, except for those few things, this is actually in pretty good shape. I mean, no scratches or dents or anything like that. There was some gunk on around the Smith Corona logo, and I thought it was scratched. I was a little bit disturbed by that. But then I was just poking around one morning after I got it, and I realized it wasn't scratched. It was gunk that was on there. And I like, maybe somebody had left some Scotch tape and ripped it off and left the residue behind. So it just took an hour or two of trying to gently scrape it off without scratching the chrome. But I got just about all of it off, if not all of it now. So it's
how do you like
pretty happy.
it? Like, is it, I'm just watching the light reflect and like blind. Like, how do you like typing on it? Is it okay to type on, or does it hurt your eyes, or?
No, with the color, no, that doesn't bother me at all. I mean, it's I haven't taken it outside. I may try that on an adventure, but once I get this spring fixed, I mean, I could, I just put a little thing underneath it. The other thing it's missing is a foot. So,
Just one.
but I don't think that would be too hard to find or to
Oh,
fabricate.
yeah, it's just a square block.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey,
So,
Rich, do you have your white gloves though, so you can carry it around?
Oh, it needs a name. I haven't thought of a name, but the only other one I've given a name to.
Flash. I would call it Flash.
Oh. The only other one I've given a name to is a Galaxy I have, and I thought it appropriate to call it Hal, just from 2001 fame.
Yeah.
Other than that, that was, and I did, this was, I think I got this a couple of weeks ago. I forgot to mention it last week. And this yesterday, I got one in the mail, was a Smith Corona Meteor Deluxe. And I'd never really heard of that. The story behind that is kind of weird and odd timing. I was scrolling through Facebook and I noticed one of these astronomy feeds was talking about Comet Leonard coming, and I think it was like Monday or Tuesday, and maybe late last week. And so I thought, wow, I didn't realize we had a comet coming. So I went outside and look, I couldn't see it, but I went back. It was still on my feed, but I went up a notch on the feed, and there was somebody was talking about a Corona typewriter that was a Meteor, and I said, who makes Meteor? I never heard of that. And this was right after I had looked up the Meteor stuff. So I just went to eBay and YouTube or Etsy and tried to find some. Most of them were kind of more than I wanted to pay. But I did find one, and it came yesterday. And it looks like it's in good shape. It's outside. I hope it doesn't start raining. Because there's just a slight odor on it. I'm sitting in the sun. Cleaned it out and want to get some sun on it. But one thing I noticed, it's kind of cool. It's more of a squarish shape than one of the rounded kinds for a Smith Corona. It's got round keys, but they're not glass. They're got the sticky paper on it for the key letters. And it does not have a red option for it's got one color, black, for a ribbon. So I was a little bit disappointed about that. Maybe I could just put a specialty color on it or something like blue or something.
Well, from what I understand, the Smith Corona Comet, or the Meteor, whatever it was an entry-level machine for college students who could afford that. They didn't have tab, bichrome, that sort of stuff. They were a fairly basic machine. They were first cousin to the early Smith Corona standard.
Yeah, I think it's a 41. So yeah, it's basic. It doesn't have the tabulator, doesn't have the ribbon selector. It's got stickers for letters on. They're kind of chrome round, but they still stickers, not glass.
Either stickers or it's almost like a rimmed Bakelite.
Yeah, I haven't looked that closely at it. I just thinking about the shape and what I saw with the rim around it, each of the letters. But it looks like it'll be functional. It's just slightly sticky. I mean, it's still usable, but I would prefer to clean it first and just get it working right. So that's kind of how my collection has grown over the last couple of weeks.
So one quick question on Flash there, your Chrome typewriter. Does that have the turbo platen?
The which platen?
Turbo platen.
Clear.
Oh,
it's a vinyl as opposed to rubber.
I don't know.
You'd be able to tell because it's like transparent with a color
it's not
underneath.
Transparent.
Okay.
Like, is it flat black or is it a different color?
It's round black.
Cylindrical black.
It's cylindrical.
One for Rich. Okay, that looks like rubber.
Yeah.
As opposed to his patent or his registered turbo platen.
Okay.
Yeah. So happy about those. That's
definitely.
What's been going on?
Very good. Excellent. All right. And Bill, how are you doing?
To
I'm
Bill,
doing
come on,
okay.
please.
I
There he
had to
is.
unmute.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, been doing fine.
Excellent.
Nothing new in my world. I've had this Alpina machine for a while, and I mentioned it before, and it's a beast to pick up, but this is the machine I was talking about a while back, and it's got a it's a platen shift instead of a carriage shift. So if you,
Cool.
Nice.
Isn't that interesting?
Alpina.
and so that's something I've been wanting to show, but I've just been kind of messing around a bit with the machine still, and I haven't used it too much yet. It needs a bit more cleaning and so forth, and I'm at that same stage where I'm not really in the mood to go out into the garage much these days, with it being cold out
Winter,
there. So
Yeah.
it's probably not going to get a lot of use over the winter time until warmer weather arrives and I can mess with it more. But yeah, I thought that was kind of a interesting and unique approach to things. It's something I haven't seen on any other machine. So
Yeah. And really, I think that's how the carriage shift should have been designed to begin with, rather than move the whole carriage, just move the platen, it makes sense. Yeah.
I suppose. I mean, I don't know. I think as long as it works and works dependably, it's. But I find it interesting, all the different variations that people came up with over the many decades that these machines are around.
Definitely.
That's
called
funny. I
working
never
around
noticed that.
patents.
So I have one right here. And
Oh,
yeah, that should be the same way.
and I never noticed that it was only the platen was moving. But you're right. This whole thing is
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that. I never would have realized. I love this typewriter, by the way.
Yeah, I just started going through most all of the German machines. Those tend to be my favorites.
Yeah.
So how close to, for want of a better word, neutral buoyancy is the shift on that machine? How heavy is the shift?
I've determined that I'm not really a fair judge, because I really don't have a problem with any of them. And like I said, it could be just because I play guitar for so long and I use my
Good firm
pinkies.
fingers, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't look at it as anything that I struggle with, but I kind of feel the same about the carriage shift machines I've tried. I think maybe the Olympia SM3 might be the easiest carriage shift machine, if you get it to where it's not bouncing from being over tightened. But
yeah,
I don't know. In the end, this ended up, initially I thought that was something was a bigger concern to me, and I figured out it's really not. I thought for sure I would be sticking with the basket shift, segment shift machines only, and over time I was like, they all really work just fine. So
Excellent.
So
Daniel,
so-
you had a comment?
Yeah. So hi, Bill.
Hey,
oh,
Daniel.
yes, at the bell.
Glad to see you, Bill Guthrie, Bill G, and William too. So that's great. But I just wanted to comment on. I've taken the platen apart on my SG1, and if you've received my letter by now, I have answers to some of the things I was wondering about. I contacted JJ Short, and they do offer to sell the tube and just ship the tube. So you don't have to send the whole platen
Oh, wow.
and then risk that it would be lost in the mail. You know, like we both have this this apprehension of sending our platens, our rare platens, to out in the mail or courier, and that they disappear somehow. So they do offer it. But it's going to cost the same price, because what they have to do is they have to mount it on a platen that they have, and then turn it down, then dismount it from the platen that they have, and then ship you the tube.
Oh, wow.
And then instructions to install it include use of a air compressor, which can deliver 50 pounds per square inch with a small nozzle. I guess probably to slip it over your platen somehow. So that's what I think it's. I got the email, which I could flip to you. I don't have your email, but that was the explanation. So yeah, there's I mean, we could save on shipping because you don't have to ship it there, but the total cost for them, or their own time of making it for your platen, is about the same as if you were to ship your own platen. So that's the answer there. And I was thinking of sending him quite a few, but I think I'll he does offer a discount if you get more than one platen done at the same time. So
Of the same diameter.
yeah, the same time. So not the same type. No, he's offering me the same discount for 4 platens that are two of them are the same. The Letteras, the 2 Letteras, the 22 and 32. But the Olympia SG1 and the Smith Corona Sterling from 1938. So that I would still get the rebate. Now the interesting thing is, for the feed rollers. So this is the part on my SG1, the feed rollers. That he's not as confident about the size of those, and that he can get it correct. So that's a little bit more expensive, just because it would be subject to return if they don't have the right diameter somehow. So I guess the trick for me would be to measure everything inside diameter and outside diameter carefully, and length, while ordering feed rollers. That might do it. But strangely enough, those feed rollers are still soft, like they still look like they're good. They don't have a flat spot. They don't have. So I'm wondering, like the people that talk about changing the platens. Yes, it's about maybe it feels better when typing. But for me, the big thing was that I found that sometimes paper was not even feeding well because it was slipping. And I was wondering if changing the feed rollers to a softer, like a fresher rubber, would be better. But I might just try not changing the rollers. On the Olympia, it's not a big job to take it apart anyway, if I ever in the future need to. So that's an update.
Yeah. Daniel.
Yep.
As far as the platen and feed rollers, on my 1935 Remington Bantam, it would not feed the paper straight. The paper kept slewing to one side. Had the platen redone, the paper now tracks absolutely true. So get the platen done first, then if there's further problems, then look at the feed rollers. So
that's my thinking. That's where my thinking is now.
Yep.
At first,
Yep.
without, after taking them apart and then getting a better feel for how hard and soft they are, my thinking has changed a bit. At first, I was thinking like, okay, I'm redoing a typewriter, so I'm going to change all of the rubber, and so on and so forth. And I might, like you say, I might not do that. So that's a thing.
My experience on feed rollers is if they're still soft and don't have major flat spots on them, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 1938 Sterling, those rollers are hard, super hard. So I'm thinking that I'm going to have them done because I can't see. They're so different than all the other typewriters that it seems to me that they've suffered from aging at the same time or rate as the main platen. But the problem with the Sterling that I have is the platen is damaged, extremely damaged. I think Kimberly called it a corn cob the last time that we spoke, and that's what it looks like. Yeah. Anyway, so sorry for stealing your time, Bill, but I just thought I'd give you an update live on my research about platens.
No, that's cool. I appreciate it very much. And you actually beat your letter to me, so I look forward to getting it.
and Bill, I do have a question. Your blog website is down, and I was worried that maybe you had been affected by some storm or something like that. Because I've been trying to connect to it, and I can't connect.
I wasn't even aware that it was down. So thank you for letting me know.
Welcome.
I'll have to look into finding out if that's my hosting provider or what's going on.
Yeah. All right.
Bill, quick question. Did my letter get to you?
Not yet.
It's taking its own sweet time then. Okay.
Hopefully it'll be here this coming week.
Before Christmas.
I did get a letter from another individual in Toronto that I'd written to, and his just came like a couple days ago. So I know it's not being held up at the border for too long.
I'm wondering
think
if
that
it's
was
having
me.
trouble getting across BC before it goes south.
Actually, was that Jason?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
I was working on my letter back to you and trying to think what all to send. The last time I tried to send a CD of my my own guitar music, I ended up with this epic ordeal with a letter out to Ted, and it took me months before I finally got around to the post office. So I'm trying to figure out how to deal with that process and get my act together. So I'll send something out to you soon enough.
Gonna send him a CD? It's a good CD.
Yeah, so Jason sent me a CD of his, and it was really impressive. His was like an actual packaged product and everything, and so versus my typewritten song.
Yours is so much more
personal.
and
Yeah.
Handcrafted.
If
Personal.
it's just shrink wrapped off a pile, it doesn't take a lot of effort.
So I don't know.
Anyway, I appreciate it very much.
Excellent. I don't know if you saw the screen share I just did, but your site is back up.
Yeah,
so
it's up.
It's probably just
okay.
Everything. So
let me try it, because then I'm worried that the problem is on my side. And sorry if I got everybody. Sorry if I got Bill to worry too much about it, but I'm going to try it again.
If you tried it yesterday, there was an Amazon outage that killed up, about a third of the internet. So
Yeah,
oh wow,
big server outage. Yeah.
It was over the week. I tried it many times.
That's when it happened. for this past last
Yeah.
week.
I run
It's
a
working.
Yes.
Okay.
yeah, I run a motorcycle blog with that same provider hosting, and usually if they're having problems, I hear about it like really quickly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it definitely caught me off guard if there was long-term problems happening.
That
But
being said, I saw that you commented on Robert Messenger's blog like this week or something like that, and I went like, okay, like like I was like, he seems like he's doing fine. I was wondering, what's happening there. So by the way, I happened to read the same blog and enjoyed it very much, and I saw Michael on One Type page comment on it, and then Ted Monk the next day or two also comment on it, and it was a lot of fun that 4 people maybe that from this group at least are following that excellent blog there.
Oh yeah, he's been doing that since 2010. So
yeah, I know.
I mean, he's back
there's a lot.
my age.
no, but that's true. There's a lot. I've enjoyed going back in time and reading like the older posts, and it's incredible.
Yeah, he was the one of the very first people I contacted when I put together my my Q&A series on my blog. So Ted and Joe had both participated, for example, and Robert was incredibly gracious, and then he ended up like mentioning my blog on his own site at one point, and just folks like him and Richard Polt, it's just amazing. It's incredibly seemingly small but incredibly supportive community. And it's interesting, I exchanged letters recently with John Cooper here in Portland, and we've never met, but he has I really enjoy his blog a lot as well, and he was kind of making mention about how it didn't seem like it was all that long ago when the typosphere was really, more active than it is now, and I would have loved to have like been involved with all of this at this time, but it's like, well, I try to at least contribute a little bit here and there where I can to keep it going, but I look at it and I see Ted still contributing as frequently as he does, and that I
still love
between
blogging.
yeah, well, so between yourself and Robert, and then Joe is so active with his videos, but he still does the blogging too, and it's like all I can do is tip my cap, to keep up the level of energy after all this time, and especially still be putting out content that is useful. It's like I just wrote something up for my blog the other day, and then I'm looking at it. It's like, do I really want to publish this? It's really just more. My stuff is not necessarily helping anybody, but it's like I'm trying to think of things that I didn't want to be just publishing a blog post every time I buy a new typewriter. It's like, what else can you do? So
that's what the typosphere used to be in the golden age. Is everybody was posting every time they found a new typewriter, and they discovered something new, and maybe they just had a thought.
Yeah.
That's when the typosphere blogs were really, really alive, is when everybody was just talking about what they were talking about. So
yeah,
From the
never
consumer end, I
hesitate.
can tell you that I'm interested. If it's just rambling, I'm still interested. Bring it on.
Do not
Can I
hesitate
add
to
a couple
post.
of comments about One Type page? I'm sort of new to it, but my first impression is how difficult it is to read some of them because the typewriters aren't very good.
They still haven't learned typecasters margins.
Your type page, it would look beautiful and it would be easy to read.
You have to read them on a computer.
Recently, there was a kind of some emotional reaction to something or other on it, And it became clear how inefficient it is for a flame war to do this, typing a page and submitting it. I mean, it slows everything down to the point where, what was this all about? I don't even know.
Which might be an advantage
Exactly.
to calm tempers down a bit when yeah. So the biggest thing would be to shut down the comment section of the OTP, and people might have a little bit more time to think about what they want to post. Anyway,
that would probably be a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't spent as much time on OTP as of late. And I kind of notice, like, if I'm not keeping up with it daily or regularly at least, which I haven't been, I have no idea what people are talking about half the time.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
And
Blind. Like what?
That's why I stopped posting, is because people were saying they weren't reading that stuff. Some of the people who, like myself, I like writing serialized fiction. So they would get on there and be like, well, I don't read it because I can't follow it, blah, 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 because I'm like, well, if you can't go back, then I guess, it's pointless for me, because I'm not one of those people who likes to write everything I do every day. I'm no these people who do. I'm sorry. I don't want to write to you about, me walking down the street or something. I don't want to talk about that. I just want, to write my fiction. And so that's just not for me at this point. So, I mean, I appreciated it. The people, following my stories, I loved it. But, I appreciated their feedback and feedback to them. But it just, if that person can't be bothered to go back, or, I just didn't feel like it was for me. I put it that way in the end.
But could you do your own site, Natasha? Like,
yeah, I put my stuff on my Insta too. I mean, that's more efficient for me, because I don't have time to.
It's an extra time.
This, that, I don't have time. I just have to do one or two things, and then I'm back to my kids, back to my regular life.
Yeah.
When I have time for that, then I'll pick it up.
Yeah. Well, I will say about your contributions that even if I wasn't following along on a regular basis, I could still check in on what you were writing and the dialogue going on, and it was still entertaining,
Yeah.
It's like I could kind of guess at what might have happened, and I could still read your pages and find them to be entertaining and fun to read. So I appreciated your contributions.
Go part way through, it still sucks you in. It's still like
I appreciate that. Thank you.
But I can understand it's different things to different people, and so I've had fun throwing my pages in there sometimes, and had one person talk about they liked Larry and Peggy, my typewriter tester, and so it was kind of funny. But it's like ultimately I need to make sure I'm putting some effort into my blog and keeping up with that. So again, just knowing just what you're talking about, Natasha, and how it can be a little time consuming and it takes the effort. That's where I'm like, I look at what Ted's done, or Joe, or Robert, any of the others, and I'm like, man, that's worth applauding. So I definitely appreciate it on everyone's part.
And years of practice.
Totally ignored photography pages. I mean, unless I do a shoot, and I can't. It is difficult to juggle all that. And hats off to people who can do that.
Yeah.
As long as I keep getting the letters, Natasha, that we're good. I was showing off.
Now that's
my wife had some friends over. My wife had some friends over last night. They're doing crafting, and my wife was just talking about all the letter writing that I've been doing, and she's like, some of the people get really creative, and because I show her your letters, like the R restricted rating on the back and so forth. And so I was getting all the letters out and showing them to folks. They're like, oh my gosh, that's really fun. And
I wonder if anybody
so
like
it's cool.
they were scared to open it. Maybe they thought they see a nude picture or something. Ooh, I think something bad is in here. Yeah, do it.
But then at the same time, I think on the flip side, there was like the Three Stooges, Yeah, you have some great stamps.
Yep.
Excellent. May, are you holding a box?
Hi, I am. I got a couple of new typewriter things.
Are you going to unbox them for us?
I'm sorry.
See them.
Well, no, I think I'm just going to wait until after the club to unbox. Just kidding.
I got all
I'm sorry
excited.
about you, Doggy Gregory. And I'm loving all the Christmas hats, but I got this a couple of days ago. I got the
Selected tape.
Yeah, I have IBM Electric,
Stasha.
and I only have a few type balls, and
Wow.
so I got a nice little stash on Shop Goodwill for $10, and they all were yes. And a couple of them are fonts that I already have, but the rest of them are new to me. Like the calligraphy, I'm really excited about that. So I'm going to try that out later today because the typewriter is actually at my boyfriend's house. He bought it for me, but it's just too big for my apartment. So he said, well, you can just keep it over here. He has a huge
They look
desk,
like
and
they've
so
never been used.
We have twin. They look very new. So yeah, and it comes with a little manual with the sample types, and they're a mixture of IBM and then the other brand, but they all look good. And so I'm going to try them all out a little bit later today. So
That's
that
exciting.
came a few days ago, and this literally came like 10 minutes ago while we were chatting.
Perfect.
I saw
So
you
let's
hold
do
the
a
box. It's like
live-
you just
Yeah.
got a step.
Live typewriter unboxing. Let me see if I can switch. I'm going to try this some screen magic here and try to switch it to overhead. Let me see if that does that. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's open this up. See what we got. This is from Shop Goodwill as well. And it was not even $20 or about $20, I think, with shipping included. And I got it not for the typewriter, although I think the typewriter will be okay if it works.
And you Americans are so lucky with Shop Goodwill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sometimes the prices are just insane. Arch it upright. Not too much padding, but it's like, hold on. It's heavy. So it is a
Smith Corona.
Smith Corona, but branded by
Sears.
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 Sears Smith Corona. Okay, deep breath. Let's see if it came out. Let's see. How can I open this without
Constellation.
camera here?
The tower? No.
It's an electric. And the little tabs are kind of stuck. Oh. It is an electric. It's basically the Electra 120, but branded by Sears. But the reason I got it, it was $7. I was the only one that bid on it.
Oh.
Oh no, it's not in there.
Cartridge.
In the picture, there was the little change of type in there, and now it's not in there.
It might have fallen during transport.
I'll have to look and see, because that was the only reason I bought it.
No, look inside, maybe, because they don't stay put if it's.
Oh really? Well, here's the little key top
okay.
for it. So where's the rest of it? I don't know. It fell inside the typewriter, you think?
The one downside of opening on camera live with
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
But it's
Well, I'm
the
gonna have
drama.
to-
It's the drama.
Pressure.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Yeah.
I found it. Yay.
Oh, good.
Yay. So I've never had the change of type. Well, they call it change of type in Sears. I guess in Smith Coronas, they call it changeable type, but it's the international one. So I've got little accent marks. If I
Which
ever
ones?
wanted, if I ever wanted to type in European,
Says the guy from Quebec. Which ones?
yeah.
Which ones? Okay, so you have French accents.
I have French accents,
diacritics.
which is appropriate because I took French for 4 years all through high school. So now I have to practice.
Now you can type garçon.
But the typewriter itself looks pretty good.
I have and we'll trade.
That's an interesting way to ship a ribbon, though.
Yeah. It fell out. So I'm going to have to put on my glasses.
Or for that
see
price.
if this typewriter works.
Yeah.
But I really like the
ribbon.
SCM. Yeah, I like the SCM Electrics a lot. They're one of my favorites, for typing. They're not the prettiest to look at, but for typing, oh my God, they're amazing. So,
Glasses and gloves, so don't get your fingers mucky.
oh, this is so dry.
Okay.
There's nothing on it. But it's black and white, so it's kind of handsome looking. I think I'll like it.
Ah,
once I
very
get it
nice.
all turned on and give it a test run and see.
So
Yeah,
I can't see what's the model. What do they call it?
The
It's
Metallist.
called the Metallist Electric 12. So the Metallist Electric 12. So it's basically the same thing as an Electra 120 because
120,
it's the 12-inch carriage, and then it's got the return handle, which I
The
like. I
110?
kind of prefer that because the automatic return is just boom. It's like Richter scale, boom. So I prefer the return handle. It just feels more natural when you're typing on a typewriter. So give me a few minutes. I'm going to take this out of the case and we'll give it a test drive and see if it was working.
Since Ted is on the call, can I ask a typewriter database question?
Sure.
So that Sears Challenger that I was showing earlier that is just the same as what Maeve just had is another rebranded Smith Corona. Should that be logged as its own thing, or should that just go under the equivalent of the Smith Corona?
No, you would file it under Sears Challenger.
Okay.
Basically, what
Huh.
it's labeled as is what you want to.
Yeah. Oh, but wait, there's more.
But Smith Corona made so many different branding, marketing choices, and Sears did the same thing. So there's going to be a lot of orphaned names and model numbers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Meg, it comes with 4 changeables, even only 2 fit in the little table that go in the machine. There is 4 keys
So
that
I've
you can.
got-
Yeah.
I only see 3.
Maybe
the
one
little metal
on. I don't
ones
know.
inside the typewriter.
One's caught under
probably.
2 of your type bars. That's why they're sticking up
Yeah.
right now.
But the little plastic thing that fits in the typewriter only holds 2 because you can only change 2 keys at a time.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. You mean the box? The box is not big enough to hold 4.
It comes in another box. Like you can buy the change a key type things separately. Like they had the international, the mathematics, the pharmacy. They had different sets, and it comes in its own box. And within that box comes the little tiny plastic box that fits in the typewriter.
No, but she has the key
Oh,
top.
I found it. I found it.
Yeah.
I have all 4.
Okay.
Yay, and the
Yay.
box.
Hey.
Great.
And now I can type in.
Yay.
I can type en français. Ooh,
En français.
joli.
So I just
Je
I'm just telling
suis
you,
jolie. Je suis très jolie.
très joli.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say I'll write you in French then. I'll write you
Okay.
a
Oh, that's
little
And
letter in
I'll
French.
write back. You might have to kind of.
But you have to
Translate
convert
it.
it to 220 before you can use it with French.
No, no.
Not in Canada.
It's a loophole.
Yeah, there you go.
No, we're quite integrated.
That's
Speaking
awesome.
of
Go ahead, Bill.
speaking of type, did anybody see the Phoenix typewriter video that came out this past week with oh my gosh, I'm having a total brain freeze. the architect from Chicago.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wright-
Frank Lloyd Wright.
Frank Lloyd Wright. Thank you. Did you
Beautiful.
see that?
Mhm.
That was really incredibly interesting. The type slugs that they had made up for him with the symbols and so
Well,
forth.
the only thing, Bill,
No
I was
way.
disappointed with was he didn't show the actual type slug, because that one really large oval.
He
I
did.
mean, I kept thinking, oh, he
I
did.
thought
Oh,
he did
missed-
show
yeah.
it. Yeah,
Oh,
That's-
it was
that's
on
why
the far
the-
left edge of the.
How wide
That's
was
why
it?
the Q is in a different place, because he had to use
was-
that.
it was
that
huge.
far end. That far
Yeah.
end slot for the type bar that has like a triple size slug on it.
I must have been slipping on my finger then and fast forwarding, because I was so excited to see that typewriter.
Yeah,
Sean,
that's
Sean,
why
you're
the Q is
not
way
patient
over-
enough.
Yeah, in a different part of the keyboard.
Yeah,
I have to look at that. I have to look for it.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That was Phoenix typewriter. Oh my gosh, I love Frank Lloyd Wright.
What is this symbol right here? It's a new symbol I've never seen before.
Oh,
that-
this is a security
that's-
for
yeah.
checks.
banking.
Oh, so
Yep.
I can delete.
It's a gray out.
Okay, cool. So I
So
have
let's
something
say-
I
to
thought
let's say
that's
you
the
type
old
a check.
telephone symbol. Give me a call.
Yeah, you write a check and you type the numbers in black, and then you type that pattern
On top.
over in red on top, so that it keeps people from erasing the numbers.
Oh, cool.
So if people were trying to erase it, like I erase my typos with eraser pens, or like erasable
Things.
yeah, well, so it's what I was trying to. It's an eraser, but in a pen. It wouldn't work because they would erase the little dots too, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
By the way, I love those even more. Like the more I use them, the more I love them. It actually works really well for me. So
Excellent.
Going back to the typewriter database, I did a search on an electric typewriter that I have. I only found one example of a Smith Corona Citation cartridge one.
Mm-hmm. So you're gonna put yours in there too, so there'll be two of them.
I think I should, yes.
Yes, you should.
As I have all the different color cartridges for that: black, blue, green, red, brown.
Mm-hmm.
And I typed a letter to my cousin back in England. I change a cartridge every second paragraph. Been a nice, interesting colored letter.
Wow.
I agree that you should do that.
Okay. And last night we were talking about the Underwoods, and so
bless you.
Oh, thank you.
Gesundheit. And Gesundheit is better than Crank Up by Danzite.
So who brought their Underwoods? I brought mine.
Yep.
I have Underwood Universal.
So we'll start with this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lovely green one.
Yeah, I got
Gold badge. That's neat.
Very nice.
Yep. This one was made in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Was sold in Canada to the aunt of a former shop foreman of mine, and I bought it from their estate sale. It's a green deluxe, serial number Romeo 2386623 from 1953.
Hmm.
And the next one along the line is this one, the two-tone brown.
That's my favorite.
Yep.
Nice.
This one I bought from the original owner.
What model is it, William? You don't say models. I need that.
It is the Quiet Tab Deluxe. Serial number Alpha 2563796 1955. The original TWDB put this at 1949, but Ted Monk's revised one puts it at 55.
Yeah, the old TWDB was really wrong for Underwoods.
Yes,
and
I realize
Royals.
that now. Yeah. Okay, and this next one I have shown various people already, but it's still a nice looking one.
A leader.
A very basic leader.
Mm-hmm.
Blue leader. Serial number uniform 2775321 1956. And then I don't get my earbud wires tied up. The last but one is the Fingerfly Champion.
Yep.
This was the one that I bought from through Kijiji, and this one had been taken to pieces, and the star wheels around the carriage bolts have been used as spacers under the carriage rail, and this thing had to come right to pieces to be sorted out.
Yeah.
This is the one I ended up having to buy the 316 nut driver to adjust the shift stops.
Mm-hmm.
This one is serial number Lima 2249536 1951.
Boy, they sure don't make those shift stops easy to get at either.
No.
Mm.
And then the last one is a little older. It's still a 4-bank, but it's
Nice.
Ooh, yeah.
yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
An old leader with stripes.
Look how proudly it
Oh,
says "Made in
nice.
Canada" on the front.
Yeah.
Yep, it does. And this one is serial number Echo 1315238, putting it in 1940. Now,
Bill,
when I go ahead.
sorry, what was the serial number of that Underwood Deluxe? The green one with the gold badge.
Green Deluxe is Romeo 2386623.
Okay, thank you. I was just comparing. One day I'll find an exact, like, right next typewriter to somebody else. So I've got to
Yes.
check my lists.
Has
It
anybody
happens.
ever
Twin. Yeah.
something like
now,
this?
The reason why I bought this black leader is when I first came to Canada, my mum figured that she would teach me how to type. Well, that kind of went off the rails with her desktop Olivetti. I managed to wreck it the first. Well, I managed to damage it with the first key I pushed, and so she then bought me an Underwood leader for me to try and practice on. Well, I didn't like the machine, so I never went very far. And so when I saw this one coming up on eBay, I thought, well, let's try this and see if it was a machine, if it was the machine I didn't like, or if it was just my attitude towards typewriters at the time. Well, after having cleaned copious quantities of dirt, grease, dog hair, eraser crumbs, and all those other detritus from this machine, I got it cleaned up. It's still not what I call a great typer. Again, it's a rock hard
Now you know.
platinum, a rock hard platinum, and the feet have literally disintegrated. So what I'm thinking of doing is getting the platinum recovered and getting a new set of feet from Typewriter Stuff. I forget the fellow's name. It won't be cheap, but then I'll give this machine the best run for as money that I can to see if it was a machine I didn't like or just a condition of the machine that was in. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Invest a lot of money to find out you don't like it. That sounds like something I would do.
Well, the thing is that now machines like this, chances are I could sell it and recoup my investment.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think the machine cost me about $25 plus shipping.
Nice.
Yeah,
Someone
so-
wrote a blog post about doing a similar job on an old Oliver and getting it like into the best shape that it could be. And then they realized, it's not a very good typewriter to type on.
I read that blog post.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened with Indro. A while back, he had fixed up an Oliver and wasn't especially fond of it and sold it. And I think he made a good little profit on it, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
They're more for looks.
Yeah.
So then this, if I can get it up on screen.
Oh,
This is the
Electric.
citation cartridge. Just read the citation on there somewhere. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Electric. Actually, a very nice typer.
Huh.
Made
So
in.
that's similar, William, to the Smith Corona 2200, isn't it?
I don't know.
Well, what's the serial number? Serial number is?
Serial number.
If
It
it
won't
starts
be
with
the
a
same as the
6,
Smith Corona.
Smith Corona 2200 is the, it looks to me that it's the same.
His serial number is. Where is the serial number?
Yeah, the serial number won't be the same as the Smith Corona serial number because every single model that Smith Corona made got its own prefix, including the like ones made for stores and stuff.
Oh, Ted, I'm surprised because I thought that the 5 series, the 6 series, you could see that in the Sears serial numbers.
No, there's no relation at all between like Tower machines or Sears machines and their serial numbers and Smith Corona machines. Absolutely no connection there at all.
Okay, serial number is 3 Lima Romeo Kilo 149024.
William, what does the cartridge refer to? Is that how the ribbon is loaded, or does it still have
Yes.
type bars?
No,
Okay, the cartridge. Yes, it has type
the ribbon.
bars on the cartridge. If I'm on screen, press this.
Ah.
On the cartridge.
Like the Coronomatic.
I see.
This one is black, I think. Yeah,
Yes. Black carbon.
I have. I was talking with one person on Typewriter Talk, hosted by Outage out of Toronto, and they were saying that they really like these machines because changing the cartridge is just like changing the magazine in a ball pack
Yep. Excellent.
So, okay.
And
Has
maybe
anybody ever seen anything?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but I have this odd thing here. This typewriter, somebody customized it and put this rope handle on the front. So they drilled a couple of holes on the each side of the front.
Well,
and
it is a
put this
portable.
handle. It's a portable. Wow.
Grab
This is
and
like
go.
something I would do.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Bonus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
well,
you can
bonus.
tie it up to the dock when you arrive and then come back to it later.
Oh,
Interesting.
man.
I wonder why they did that. But that's
That's amazing.
Typewriter people are weird.
Yeah.
Looks like it serves as a weapon when you're not typing with it.
I know, huh?
Swing it around instead of, what is it, nunchucks? You got your type chucks?
Yeah, yeah.
Or your
Type chuck.
purse. Yeah.
Type chuck.
Excellent. All right. And Lynn, how are you doing? I saw you recently joined Type Pals finally.
Yeah, I just
Yay.
moved.
Yay.
Okay.
So now that I have the address, I signed up
Excellent.
because otherwise it would just be confusing, right?
Yeah. That's true.
You moved?
Yeah.
That must have been a big deal with presses and
Yeah.
things to move.
Yeah. I have
Oh,
very
sorry. I don't want to make you relive it.
I have very heavy hobbies, including like other things. It was a lot. I'm still living in boxes and
Yeah.
chaos, but I thought I'd check in and say hello. I'm still
Yeah.
Hello.
So, Lynn, one quick question. The painting behind you, would that happen to be the Cutty Sark?
I don't know. It was a gift of my grandmother to her father and her siblings for
Okay.
a birthday or something. And the siblings picked it out. And her first comment when she saw it was, "Why would you buy half of a ship? Because it's cut off at the top."
Yeah.
I have a feeling it was probably damaged and reframed. Because the original painting would have had the entire mast and the pennant flying from
Well,
flying from
it
the
was
crow's nest on top.
probably bought in the 20s or something.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
but it's, got a good story and it's a keepsake. So.
Of course, of course. Excellent.
Yeah, so my typewriters are scattered throughout Wisconsin in garages, and I have to go, collect them at some point or other.
Time to go and herd typewriters sometime.
What's that?
Sometime you'll have to go and herd typewriters.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe when the weather is so wintry.
Yeah.
Bring them in from the high ground, ready for the winter.
Get along, little typers.
Yeah, that's
Yippee type, yo.
Oh my goodness, you guys are funny.
Yes, we are.
And of course,
Then
you always like those the bigger typewriters, so you don't have a bunch of little small ones, so.
well, I got rid of a lot of my older typewriters, and so I only have like one Selectric that I actually transported myself, and then a desktop Underwood, and that's about it for big ones.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, I really am.
Yeah.
There was a very nice type in Minnesota, and some people who did not want to buy my typewriters, but I was like, in the garage at the very end, and the organizer was there, and I was like, okay, these two for $100. And he's like, you're gonna make me buy these, aren't you? And I did. He relented.
That's funny.
If you would have had a Maze rope accessorized typewriter, you might have got 150 for the pair.
Yes, and as far as goes, I once bought a Smith Corner Classic 12 just because it had the happy face, sad face type slug already installed.
Yeah.
The typewriter itself was being sold for parts because yes, it was definitely broken, but I got the slug.
Yep. Excellent. All right. Well, I'm glad you made your move, Lynn, and hopefully you get a little more settled in and find some space. I know you're having difficulty finding space for one of your letter presses, so hopefully that works out.
Yeah, that's in storage at this point, but either I'll find a space or decide to sell it. I'd hate to, but if it's in storage, it's not good for it too.
That's true. All right. Well, it's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see all of you.
Yeah. And Natasha, how are you?
I'm doing great. Anyone that's seen my Insta? Let me show you my teacup, coffee cup. I don't drink coffee, but this is my new teacup.
Ah, nice.
White.
That's awesome.
How cute.
Color. And I got some new business cards too with light typewriter repair and that sort of thing on there. So yep. So I did that. And my newest typewriter is the Remington Model 5, made in Canada, British Empire typewriter that I put on Instagram. I can show it, but I got all my Underwoods down here. Underwood. I guess, should I go through the Underwoods real quick? I'm not going to drag them out.
Yeah.
So
spotlight.
All right, so let me go ahead and get this one. This is the Underwood S, right?
Fragile, it must be Italian.
1941.
Gregory, I heard you.
So
He made a Christmas story joke.
Yes. Second best movie in the world. No.
What's the first?
It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh,
Princess Bride. Princess Bride is the first.
Princess Bride. Princess Bride.
You see, I can put this typewriter on top of this typewriter. I don't.
Is that a leader?
It's a leader, yeah.
Yep.
Would you type with it that way, though?
This has the temperature gauge. I mean, not temperature, but it has the.
Yours has white keys.
What is this? This is a 1956.
I like the colors on that one.
Yeah.
My leader, blue leader,
Yeah, but I
56.
think
Okay.
it's acting up a little bit. There you go. She works perfect.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Nice. Beautiful color.
Yeah.
It's
Two-tone.
Yeah.
I
Two-tone
saw
blue.
her.
With
She
white
was a
keys.
real
Cool.
bad when I got her a few months ago. So of course I fixed her up. All right, and then we've got.
What year was that, Natasha?
Oh, I'm sorry, it's a 1956.
56. Oh, yeah, I think you said that. I just forgot. Okay.
That's okay. The first one was an Underwood S 1941. I do have serial numbers if anyone wants. So the next one here is a SS Underwood. Supposed to be silent, but it's not. But this is the plain and boring one I always call. You know, it's just, you know.
Underwood number 6.
This is a 1952. Yeah, 52 SS.
The design of that one to me looks very architectural. So it may not have a lot of color to it, but I like the look of it.
The designs on the side are
Nice
cool.
trim to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Art Deco kind of trim.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. And then of course I have my 1927.
Was someone talking about lizards? Art Gecko? Oh, Deco, not Gecko.
So 1927 Underwood 5. Of course, everybody knows that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all open. It's got new feet and everything that I put on.
Are all these functional or in work in progress?
If they're in my bedroom, they are functional.
Okay.
That's cool.
If they are not, they are not.
I'm going to use that motto in my life. If it's in my bedroom, it's functional. If it's not, it's not. Thank you, Natasha. I'm stealing that one.
You make me poor girl laugh.
That's what I put that on my car. So, anyway, on my car, but my typewriters, if it's in my bedroom, it's functional. It's 1929 Underwood 3, 12-inch. Yep, and it's got new feet on it, and that's all I needed. It's fully functional. Other than that,
amazing.
So if I'm going too fast, let me know that they are heavy. And then we got one more. Oh.
Now, I was given a typewriter a little while ago. With my wife's help, I'll go get it just to show you real quick. Once. Oh, what do we have here?
Heavy one.
An Underwood 5 Touchmaster, 1961. And, I was told that the Marines used this in Vietnam during the 60s, so I put Marine stickers on.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I got it for a mere $20.
Yeah.
And then fixed it up, and now it's doing just fine. Great.
So you type Marine stuff on it?
Marine charm on it too. Yeah.
You type underwater.
Yeah.
Underwater, underwood, underwear, whatever.
I think that's all I have an Underwood in the garage, but again, if it's not in here, it's not functional. 36 is beautiful, but it came in with the frame broken from Canada.
It's not our fault.
No.
I was saying my other Canada ones work fine.
Seems like we're we're hearing about a disproportionate number of Canadian-made typewriters today. Nice that they made something in Canada at some point.
Yeah, exactly. Did you have another one, Natasha, or?
I can show you my my British Empire real quick for those who have not
I
seen
think Sean was made in Canada. He turned out okay.
I'm a little broken, but I'm okay.
Janky, you're a little janky.
I'm janky. I'm totally janky. My shift stops need replacing, but anyway.
That sounds like a great nightclub personality. The song stylings of Sean Janky.
Now, see this one, I had to be creative with my belt. Because the thing was-
That's heavy duty.
Yeah.
That looks like a Remington 5.
Oh my
word! Yes. Isn't that
the right
shirt he sent over?
Yes. But yeah, let me get this thing unbuckled here. See, it's not going anywhere. All right, so
I had asked you to be ready to open the door.
I was.
Yeah.
okay. And the original ink in it works. I just had to freshen it up, of course. And here's the British Empire symbol there. I can get it over.
You have the serial number on your tag?
Yeah. It is C as in cat, B as in boy, 21842.
Okay.
And all the rubber is soft still, every bit, even the peak.
Wow.
And the bottom was perfectly clean,
Nice.
but the top was dead dirty. I don't understand. But the case was dead, but the top was so dirty, and I cleaned it up, and it's like a new typewriter. I mean, it looks like it's brand new.
Well, to me, I bet that
No,
it was serviced.
Yes, the
Yeah,
older
at some
pack.
point, because for that age, for rubber to have lasted, I think what happened is somebody got it serviced and got new rubber on it.
Yeah, someone cared.
Yeah.
So you said it was an Empire?
No, it's British Empire product on the top.
That's just how we marked them back in World War II, and they were getting shipped around.
But I thought that was its own kind of typewriter.
No, that's
I
just a
see.
Remington 5 Streamline.
It is Remington 5. It's a Model 5 Streamline.
I see.
It was just a thing that we did when we were shipping stuff out all over the world, like guns and typewriters. We marked them all as British Empire products, put a big maple leaf on them, and
Yeah, maybe Rich, you're thinking about Imperial typewriters, which is a brand
It could
made in
be.
England.
I remember a logo with a lion on it or something like that.
You're thinking of the Empire Aristocrats.
Oh,
Things get
okay.
Yes.
Could be, yeah.
British Empire product. Didn't Canada send these to Britain to be used?
they sent them all over. Yep.
Yeah, like you were saying. Well,
Okay.
I got a question about is the handle. This thing, what is this? I mean, because none of my other machines have this.
That just goes down when you put it in the case, so it doesn't break off.
Which
There's a little doodad in the top of the case that when you close it, it grabs it and then flips it over. So when you close the top of the case, it bends it down.
Okay, show it again. Show it again because we can't see the image now.
Do you see it?
It bends, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
None of my other handles do this, and really it's irritating because if I'm trying to, finish typing and pull it to the, it's loose. I don't like that, so I have to end up pushing it here. So I don't know. It's a
The designer would be so sad to hear that. They probably were very proud of their innovation.
I know, huh?
come up from the grave and deal with that with me because
So I have the same thing on the Smith Corona Sterling, like this little thing tips inwards as
Yes,
well.
on the flat tops.
Yes, flat tops. That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Now, Gregory,
Yes.
if you can show my screen, this is a heavy old brute. This is one of the new ones that a newer one to me.
Oh, nice.
I saw one of those before the back, and I was like, it looks like a stove. But
Wow.
Yeah, it's a thrust action. And the interesting thing is that each slug has two complete layers to it, And depending which key you push, it'll either hit with the upper layer or the lower layer. And then
Oh,
each
wow.
layer has uppercase and lowercase on it.
Wait,
But
can you
gotta wait
demonstrate
for-
that? Just hold that for us and
Probably not.
And try to type.
Hold it up
I
a bit
don't know
longer.
if you can see, this is a heavy old brute, this is. I don't know if you can see the, just in there. Oh, this is heavy. Oh, it's going back downstairs again.
Yeah. Excellent.
Okay, carry on, people.
Very good.
Piece of furniture, wood stove.
We didn't get a chance to talk to Dan. Dan had to leave, but I hope he's well. And he was all. I was going to ask him because he was dressed all snazzy. So I don't know. Maybe he doesn't work or something.
I
don't
saw
know.
it was like he was going to work or something.
Yeah, yeah. So
maybe he had a festivity occasion, like some kind of holiday party or something.
could be because he
Maybe
was
he's going to
pretty
buy a
snazzy.
really
We could
fancy
just
typewriter.
Right?
Probably it, Bill. That's probably it.
That's probably it. I always dress up to buy typewriters.
Yeah.
No, the dress up's for at home. You're partying. Like, woohoo, look what I got.
And Kara, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good. I'm sad because I went out to the garage thinking maybe I could bring the stinky typewriter in to show you, but I didn't even get it out of the garage. I was like, damn, it's still too stinky.
Oh.
Oh well, maybe someday, or maybe I'll just put it up for sale. But look, I have
It's
a
a box.
typewriter thing. It's a box.
Yeah.
It's not a typewriter, but it is highly typewriter adjacent.
Oh, we like that too.
I'm gonna mute this. You don't want to hear this.
Oh, we do. We like hearing the sounds of boxes
We like,
opening.
yes.
Yeah.
All right then.
Box
You're
I'll
leaving
get
us
it-
out
I'll
of the
lean in
experience.
closer.
Rip it.
Yeah, we want the whole experience.
Full experience.
Okay. Hear all these things.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's good crumbling.
What's
Someday they'll
in
have
here?
smell-o-vision.
So many good things, you guys.
Ah,
Yay.
Oh, yeah.
nice.
It's the when Ted puts up the thing and you go, hey, I have a Remington now. I should get a book about it. Or I have the digital copies of these things and I never look at them because I like 3D. So, and he assured me the Royal Saber would work for the Royal Safari.
analog works
What's
best.
this one? And this is this, yeah, exactly. Analog for the analog machines, right? So Smith Corona floating shift, Royal Saber for the Safari, Remington portable for that little Remy, Smith Corona 5 because I have so many of them. Yay, typewriter books. That's
Like
what I
greatest
have.
hits right there.
I know, right?
Yeah, I know. And that goes with, I have a couple others. But I also just want to say, because, we all talk about the database, we all use the database, we get the books. And I just want to mention, not only does Ted want you to put your machines on there, and who should I'm not one to talk because I don't have any on there yet, but I just want to say, there is, I know, May, you look so shocked. I just want to say, there's a Patreon account. Bye, Jason. There's a Patreon account for the typewriter database for Ted. So, it takes a lot of resources to keep that thing going. So, $5 a month, you can feel like you're really important part of,
important hunter.
And I also want to say for yes, and for like Phoenix Typewriter has a tip jar on his YouTube. So, it doesn't take much, a couple bucks to, even if it's just a gesture, like, a cup of coffee, as they say, but it's just, I think it's nice to put some energy into
Oh yeah,
those
because we
people
get so
that
much
put
out
all
of
that
it.
work into stuff. So that's my
I
little,
wouldn't know the years of my typewriters if it weren't for the database. So
Exactly.
there's so much I wouldn't know if it wasn't for the database. So,
yeah,
and
exactly.
for Phoenix Typewriter
weren't for you,
videos.
Ted.
So, yeah. So,
Yeah, those things people forget, that services are a product. Like, you'd pay for a product, no problem, but people just take services for free, kind of. Still a product, time and energy.
Exactly. Yeah.
where did Ted go? Did I drive him away with my?
He left a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Sure did.
Sentiments are
Well
still
then.
valid.
Yeah, even more so. Surprise him by becoming a background.
Yeah, there you
Yes.
go.
I thought it was real funny that one guy who bought like all of Ted's books because he got that 30% off coupon. So he had like,
Oh,
all 40 books shipped to him.
oh my
I think he was
goodness.
in a foreign country. Oh, that cracked me up. I am carrying my few Ted books though here in my trailer. Kara, have we gotten to see your new shed yet?
We got some nice
There's not much in it. I can show you a picture if you want.
I almost sent you one of my Blackwing pencils because you said you needed a Blackwing pencil for it or something. I don't know.
Oh, well, I have several Blackwing pencils, but yeah, they're the best. Thank you for thinking of me.
Right. No, I think
Yeah, it's not, the shed isn't really, I mean, there'll be a typewriter out there, but it's going to be more for clay. And I don't think that clay and typewriters really go together very well. So
Amen.
I'm going to have to put a typewriter under glass or something. So because I do want to be able to sit out there and type too, but.
Yeah. Well, I think you're in your office. You're in your office right now and that works. So.
Yes. Yes. There's a few typewriters scattered around here.
Good for you.
One of my favorites right there.
Yeah.
Can you see it? I don't know if I'm pointing this the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See it.
It has its little note that I made with all the issues. That's what I've been doing lately. It's just writing things, like typing things, like so that when I look at it, I go, which one is this? Oh yeah, this has slight skipping issues. Go figure. Sticky vibrator, return arm sticks, upper lower alignment, segment could use a clean, body clean, and basically do maintenance on the typewriter.
It's like the typewriter timeout corner.
Yeah.
This one is actually out here because somebody had a similar one that they were having trouble with. So I was taking pictures of it for them. I think they might still need another picture. But anytime somebody needs one of those 40s Royals, I usually can take pictures for them.
Yeah. Excellent.
So that's all I have to say. Oh, and I'm sure this has been said several times, Gregory, but I'm just so sorry to hear about that one.
Yeah, we all are.
Thank you.
It's just such a gut punch, and it's just, yeah, I know how important your dogs are to you. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I feel the same way about mine.
It was just so shocking that it was the younger one, the older one, Spencer, she's doing great right now. So I go figure.
I know it's not like you don't always get to prepare for it, and
yeah.
Anyway, really sorry about that.
I appreciate it.
Glad that you took time off for yourself last week.
Yes. So we do have some comments on YouTube, and let's see.
Any comments?
Yeah. All right. So we had Joe. I don't know if he's still watching, but he was watching earlier. Hey guys, I will unfortunately miss the meeting this morning, but am with you in spirit. Mark 80 Bojang running wild. I always love saying that. I bought a Hermes 3000 at a local antique store for just under $95. Wow, that's quite a score.
$94.99.
Yeah. And still got to find the serial number to find the year. Liz G, hi everyone. Hope you're having a great day or night so far. Would anyone know where I could get a platinum core for a sad face Voss ST24 regular carriage? Mine is cracked. Ooh, that's a good question. Other than a parts machine,
She's probably answered her own question right below it.
Oh, I am trying to avoid buying a whole. Yeah, see. Unfortunately, that's probably going to be the case.
Yeah.
Well, there's that Facebook group, the Parts and Exchange group.
Oh
So
yes,
that might
yes.
work.
That's a good suggestion actually. And I'm pretty sure Liz G's on Facebook. So yeah, Liz, check out the Facebook parts group and maybe you can find something on there.
Now, the question would be, is it the platen core that's cracked or the platen itself and could just be recovered?
Yeah.
Like, is that a wooden core on that typewriter or is it metal core?
Oh,
He calls out the core specifically.
yeah.
Yeah, it does.
So it sounds bad.
Yeah.
It sounds bad.
How would you even know if it was cracked? Like, isn't it covered in rubber? How would you know?
You can see the end. You can see it by the end probably. Or maybe if the rubber is split, you can see the core is cracked. Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's speculation.
All right, then we have an ink guy, beards to rock. I think that was in comment to the
beard.
My comment on the beard. And again, he has a great channel, so be sure and check that out. Talking about fountain pen ink. John V, question for Ted. Unfortunately, Ted is not here anymore. I have several machines that need repair and saw your manuals. Does the repair Bible cover most manual machines? I have an SM3 that needs work right now. Do I need the Olympia manual?
You don't need it, but it definitely helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the answer is that the first book of the series, the Bible there, won't cover Olympias. So if you have an Olympia, I recommend buying the Olympia specific.
So he asks a question later on that basically says that. So just get the specific Olympia book.
Yep.
And then boom, problem solved.
Excellent. Very good. All right. And then an ink guy, when I read books, if I happen to start with the third book, I go look for the previous two. The reader does have to be willing to do just a little bit. I'm not sure what that was in reference to, but Ted is apparently in the chat.
Zoom crashed.
Yeah. And then John V, since Ted left, does anyone else know if the Bible will work for an SM3 or do I need the Olympia manual?
He's got an SM manual.
Yeah. So then Ted says you want the SM3, 4, 5, and 7 manual. So excellent. Very cool. That worked out then. Well, except for Ted's Zoom.
Yeah, that did work out.
I like how you added that.
Sorry, Ted.
Good for the rest of us.
Excellent. And we have Amy joining us. How are you, Amy?
Hi.
Welcome back.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself.
That's okay.
Oh, I'm doing pretty well.
Very good.
I was really sorry to hear about your pet and both of them, that the other one isn't doing well. And
yeah.
Anyway, I know how that feels. It's just not nice. But last Sunday, when we had the Sunday off, I live not too far from an art center, and they were having their annual sort of Christmas thing, but with COVID protocols. And part of the programming there, when they do their annual Christmas Family Sunday, is that they have different stations for different art forms, and people come in. And normally I would come in and just do a creative writing station for kids and families. But this time I brought 2 typewriters with me, which was really, really fun. And so I brought a little Brother Charger 11 and the Adler Contessa that I have, and set both of those up. And they were never empty. Kids were just kind of going crazy over them.
Wow.
And it was really, really fun. And we did like little short story prompts and poetry and some other fun writing activities on them. So yeah, it's something that I think we'll do again. I've been talking also to the people who run the place. And I think we're going to try to do, because they do arts residencies there. And I think we're going to try to build a little library of typewriters that the artists and residents can use on a regular basis. So it was just really
Well,
a fun day.
Yeah, that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
That's
And the Brother Charger 11, it was hilarious because I had just gotten it like 2 days before at a thrift shop for $12, and it just needed to be cleaned and have a new ribbon. There really wasn't anything wrong with it. And I actually watched Gregory. I'd watched your video on before I actually went back and got it because I was just like, oh, I don't know. And then I liked your general attitude about it. It's not my favorite typewriter, but it was perfect to take when there was like, this raft of 6 and 7-year-olds who'd never seen a typewriter before. And there were so many parents like taking pictures to send to grandparents of their kids with a typewriter. Like it was going to be some kind of revelatory thing for a grandparent to see their kid with a typewriter. But anyway, it was, but yeah, it was just kind of fun to take that little thing because it's just kind of unstoppable. It's, just a bare bones, but super easy to use. And
yeah.
Did any parents ask, where can I get a typewriter?
Yeah, there were a couple of parents that actually were kind of trying to figure that out. And around here, I mean, the biggest city close by is about an hour and a half away, which is Halifax. And there is a guy there. It's not a typewriter shop or a typewriter repair shop even. He can clean typewriters. That's about it. And he sometimes gets them in his back room. So in fact, I've gotten a couple of machines from him in the past just because he gets them and doesn't really know what to do with them. And it's odd because I live in this village that has about 200 people. But I'm kind of the only thing that's happening as far as, repairing and restoring and getting typewriters out to people. So I don't know, it may have been, I could take it as an invitation for this next year to kind of do more of it, I think. So
Excellent.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
You're the typewriter person in town.
Yeah, the Brother Charger 11, that's the one that I gifted to my niece. And so when I was over there recently, she wanted to show off her typewriter. So we were watching her type on there, and I have to say I kind of miss it a little bit.
When you see someone loving it, you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love the fact that she wanted to show it off.
Yeah.
That's
cool. Amy, you will find that the typewriter group it seems to be a very close-knit group, all willing to help each other. And I was talking to my wife was saying that her friend who lives in Halifax says that Canning is about a 2.5 cigarette drive from where she lives. She measures distances and how long it takes to smoke how many cigarettes.
Wow, that's intense. Is that like with a holder or is that just?
Yeah, I have no idea. But I know that when my wife went to visit her, she was up at a smoking house and she said she couldn't believe she smoked a pack a day for 9 days and just felt like a bag of dirt when she came home.
Oh, and that's too bad because people come to Nova Scotia for the fresh air.
I know. So with the connections we have through Type Pals and whatever, there is always help available for answering questions and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's been really lovely to kind of connect with people just all over the place, whether it's with this group or, I belong to a couple of different, I've like probably everybody does the vintage typewriter group on Facebook, and which I don't go to very often. And then the Reddit group, sometimes there's people who can answer questions there. But I've been fortunate so far when I have to troubleshoot that there's been somebody who's been able to answer a question or send me a photograph of a machine that's like the one I'm trying to fix that I just can't figure out what happened. So I've been really lucky that way.
Another very good resource is a website called Typewriter Talk. It's a board host website. It's hosted by a fellow by the name of Uwe out of Toronto. He's been collecting typewriters for years, and although the site isn't overly active, the quality of information that comes out of that is terrific.
Mhm. Well, it's been around for a long time, so
Yes.
a lot of archives you can still research.
I have taken a look at Reddit, and it's just, to me, it's just people spewing out information because this is what they've heard, this is what I've heard, she's heard, he's heard, and you don't really get anywhere. Just post after post after post of.
It's too disorganized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
convoluted. Yep.
Yeah.
Whereas Typewriter Talk, you submit your question, come back a couple of days later to see if you have an answer.
Yeah.
and the more, and as you increase your number of posts, so your title goes up. Like now, I'm a keymaster, where I was a novice, then a platinum puncher, and then a keymaster. Now yeah.
That's funny.
Platinum Punisher, that was it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, check that site out. And I'm the one who calls himself Skywatcher.
Oh, that's awesome. Does that mean
Yeah.
that you're into astronomy?
Some sort of astronomy, and I like anything that flies: kites, boomerangs, airplanes, sailplanes, helicopters, all that sort of stuff. And I have been keeping an eye on Betelgeuse, which is Orion's, as we would see it, his upper right shoulder, which the scientists figure is the next star to go supernova in our galaxy.
Oh.
Because right now the diameter of the star is equal to the Earth's orbit around the sun. Right now it's a red giant and has been getting dimmer the last few years, so they figure it may go pop sometime in the not too distant future. Speaking on astrological times, and Betelgeuse is only 427 light years away from us, so it's a relatively close neighbor as compared to some of the other neighbors in our galaxy. And so
Have you
okay.
watched for Leonard?
Did you, Pete?
Have you watched for Leonard, Comet Leonard?
I took I've tried to find it, but never could get an exact bearing on it.
Yeah, it was just, I guess, east of Arcturus, and but it's been falling down. I'm not sure when it's going to be at its brightest. It seems like it's like 80,000 years before it comes back again. And
Wow.
It's one thing that's changed is as it's gotten closer to the sun, it's not brightening like I thought it would. It's actually dimming. But I couldn't find it. I had too much street lights and to my east here in the morning.
Now, they're talking about being a fairly intense meteor shower come Monday night, Tuesday morning, as we pass through the tail of a comet.
Exciting stuff.
Gregory, I think there's probably some call for spacepals.com.
I mean,
live long and prosper.
Yeah, wasn't there?
Our pals.
So, yes.
I know very early on in Typewriter Club Live, the topic of UFOs came up. So it's been a recurring topic, UFOs and space and that sort of thing.
And I was surprised how many Whovians there are among us.
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
yes,
That surprised you? Really? I think I'm one of the few people in this group that's never seen an episode of Doctor Who.
Oh,
I haven't
That's
seen
more surprising. Oh, Bill? Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen Doctor Who.
I've been watching Doctor Who since I was 4 years old.
Wow.
Aw. You win.
I know, huh?
Yeah. So
No,
Amy,
I'm
so
a
yes,
Who virgin.
I'm glad that you have
Well, I've
decided.
never
I'm
seen
glad
it,
you
but I
have
need
decided to join us. Sorry, I'm talking over.
Oh,
May.
it's okay. I was just saying
Go
I
ahead.
haven't seen Doctor Who either. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I need to because my daughter got into it, and so now maybe I need to watch. So we'll have something to talk about.
Yeah. The
They would watch it, and I was too scared. It's like a horror movie, and it still is. Every episode is terrifying.
Yeah.
I can't
the
really
latest-
watch it. I like it because of Mark Gatiss. I like anything he's associated with, whether he's acting or writing or produce. I love anything Mark Gatiss's name is on. So that's why I got into it. I'm like, oh, he wrote some episodes. I got to see them. Terrified edge of my seat the whole time, like gripping. I really don't like the show, but I watch it because Mark Gatiss makes them.
I have found that the present actor who plays the Doctor, she gabbles so fast, I can't even understand what she says. Whereas all previous one were men, and they talked a lot more, well, clearly and slowly.
I gotta differ with that a little bit. I don't think Jodie Whittaker talks any faster than David Tennant. And in fact, I think their styles are very close together, and they'd been on Broadchurch together. So there's sort of that, if you watch that, you can kind of see how they interact and how they're actually quite similar. But I think, maybe he takes more sort of the dramatic pause, but he can really like lay it out. And I haven't taken obviously scripts and looked at the scripts to see like word for word how much or little they've got to deliver in a limited amount of time, but I kind of think he can really like sort of dish it quickly like she does. Maybe it's her clarity isn't as good as his or something, but for your ear, but I think he actually could get a lot of words unlike Peter Capaldi, who kind of almost didn't say anything the first season that he was on.
And I also find Jodie's pitch, tone, note of voice doesn't really register very well in my ears. So
well, that may be it. That might be it, William, because the higher pitch, as we age, and if we have some damage to our hearing, the higher pitch is the ones that go first.
Yes,
we stop the hearing.
Not four anymore.
So it might not be the speed. It might be just like the pitch of the voice, and that's just a factor of it's higher.
Careful, Daniel. Careful. Careful
Yes.
now.
So we use closed captioning, and I cannot keep up reading fast as she talks, whereas the previous doctors I could keep up reading the closed caption, but Jodie, no, I can't even read as fast as she talks.
Tom Baker.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
But another fast talker was Peter Davison, the fifth Doctor, because he was that regeneration of the Doctor was supposed to be very volatile, and he was like he talked fast.
Yep.
I feel like I'm watching an episode of Seinfeld. The soft talker, the close talker,
That's a good one, Bill.
Which one was the one talking about time being wibbly wobbly? That was always very fun.
That was David Tennant. Was he 11th or 12th? 11th? 10th? 10th. He was the 10th Doctor, I believe.
Gosh, how many have there been?
No, I think he was 11. It wasn't. I don't know the name of the 10th bald guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I only watched the Mark Gatiss episode, so I really don't know.
Yeah.
To answer Bill's question, it's a long running series, and the actors have been rotating, so it's a very, very long running series.
That's really interesting.
The earlier ones are not as scary. When Moffat took over, then it got really weird.
Yeah.
And I kind of got a lot more scary. So, it was a kid show, back in the day.
I got to admit, the Daleks scared the hell out of me back in the early 80s. So
yeah,
I was
still scary.
freaked out by it.
They're just salt and pepper shakers, though.
Yeah.
Really, really big ones with lasers. That's like scary. When you think your dinner can kill you.
The look of them are comical. Like, it looks like he's got a toilet plunger for an arm. Like, you don't think you're going to be scared, and then you're terrified. Like,
Yeah.
When he goes on your face.
Yeah.
The episode that really scared me was when I was about 5 years old. Was the first episode where they introduced Cybermen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I was scared by that one.
Yeah.
But you were little. I mean, scary for little kids is probably.
Yeah.
Is that Mark Zuckerberg?
Scare us.
That's what I thought. So I started watching them now, and they're still scary. And they're still scary.
Yeah.
The only thing I can say about Doctor Who is I love the dresses at Hot Topic.
Oh, the TARDIS dress?
All sizes. And the little TARDISes that people drive around with, because I put the Saint on my car just like they have on theirs. So I use Doctor Who fans as an excuse to put the Saint on my car. Like if they can do that, it's immature, then I can do mine.
I got hooked on Who because Tom Baker had Romana, and she was so cool. She was cooler than Baker and smarter, and so that was really an excellent moment when they had Romana on.
Yeah.
She was a fellow Time Lord, wasn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I
Yeah,
just remember she was really sharp and Baker was kind of a dunce, you know, and it was a good thing for a young girl to see.
Yeah.
You could have capable women, you know, out there doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of like Inspector Gadget in '99.
Oh, yeah. Well, I haven't mentioned the typing prompt. And what was it? It was your favorite movie, favorite holiday related movie, book, or song.
Yes.
So did anybody do it?
I did.
Yay! We have a few.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Oh well, it's short. It's short because
That's
I'm
okay.
not a big holiday person, honestly. But my favorite holiday movie. My favorite holiday movie is Dirty Santa because that's just my sense of humor. I love holiday movies that are funny, nothing too emotional. I grew up watching Laurel and Hardy on TV during the holidays as well. Great memories. So, yeah. Every year we would watch Laurel and Hardy for some reason too.
Oh, excellent. Well, thank you. Thank you.
That's another fine mess you got me to, Laurel.
Yeah.
Miss Stanley.
Excellent. And then I think we also had Sean.
Yes. Yeah, I got one.
Excellent.
Mine's about 17 pages, so I'll just.
Oh, okay.
So now that, like, you know, I went on 2 weeks ago, I guess it was, about how Christmas, you can't start celebrating Christmas till December, but now we're in Christmas season, so it's all good. We can all talk about all this. I won't go twitchy and all that kind of stuff. So everyone has their own personal traditions, grown from their own life experiences and family upbringing. My better half, for example, has a thing for Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers Christmas music. Me, not so much, but I've got to put up with it, so it makes her giddy, and that's good by me. For me, it's a movie. While I've added my own traditions over the years, the most important one to me is The Scrooge, A Christmas Carol from 1951, starring Alistair Sim. It is something that has to be watched on Christmas Eve before going to bed to await Santa's arrival. Even at my age, this is very important. I remember watching it every year when I was young, sitting on the floor in front of the console TV at my grandparents' house, while a fire burned comfortably in the big stone fireplace my grandfather had built. Now, whether in the original black and white or the colorized version, it doesn't matter. Watching it fills me with a level of comfort that I am unable to effectively commit to paper at this point. Let us just say that I lived the journey that Scrooge walks through, using the story to cleanse my soul every year, and for the year just past and the one to come. That movie is the closest to my heart and must be accompanied by a cup of hot chocolate, lights on the Christmas tree silently blinking, and the most, you know, and being with those most important to me. Then my Christmas in my year is complete. Finally, I will say that yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie and is another must-watch every Christmas, but it's not for Christmas Day. It's an earlier build-up type movie. And hopefully after I go to bed on Christmas Eve, I wake up to find a Red Ryder carbine action BB gun with a compass in the stock under the tree. That is my other dream. I promise not to shoot my eye out.
Yeah. Oh, very good.
Good one.
Nice. Awesome.
Man, you should have gone last, Sean. Come on.
Oh, sorry.
Good
I work
one.
on these for weeks. No, just
And, Bill, you had one?
Well, yeah.
I take mine back, Bill. I just made it up.
not a contest.
Mine's short.
Okay.
My favorite holiday related movie, book, or song is without a doubt A Charlie Brown Christmas. I don't know if it really qualifies as a movie,
it
but
does.
it's just long been
It
my
is.
favorite. But a
Qualifies.
close runner-up would have to be the old Norelco commercial with Santa riding over the hills in the three-head razor sleigh.
No, we all
I don't know why when I was a kid I got so excited about that commercial every time it came on.
I loved that commercial. It was, yeah, I don't know why either, but I loved it.
And which commercial was this?
It was Norelco electric razor. You know, they have the three-headed triangular kind of
okay.
design, and so Santa's in a sleigh that's basically the razor head turned upside down, and he's going through the hills of snow, you know, in his Norelco sleigh.
And leaving great tracks. It just looked like it would be so fun to ride that thing.
Exactly.
That's what dreams are made of.
Now, Bill, are Norelco and Philips shavers the same?
I think they are now. I'm guessing Philips bought Norelco or something like that. But in the old days, I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, anyway, thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
And I see Mike holding up a paper.
Okay, yeah, I was working on this a little while ago while I was listening in, so and missed some of them. So I think somebody's already mentioned this movie, but it's my favorite too. I always enjoy watching the movie A Christmas Story whenever the holidays come around. They based the movie around a book of short stories by Gene Shepherd titled In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash. The movie tells the story of Ralphie, a young boy growing up in the Midwest, on his quest for a Red Ryder BB gun. Gene Shepherd also narrated the movie in his best radio voice. For a long time, he had a late evening radio show on WOR in New York. In the program, he would regale his audience with mostly fictional tales from his youth and early life. My older brother used to tell us about humorous stories that he heard on the show. When I got a little older, I started listening for myself. Since Shepherd's show started after my bedtime, I would put my transistor radio under my pillow and listen in bed. Shep had a great sense of humor and a breathless delivery that kept me hooked on his wild tales. Well, at first I believed every word. After a while, I came to the realization that nobody could have that many adventures in one lifetime. Still, when I see A Christmas Story, little Ralphie's adventures take me back to those days of listening to the radio on the pillow.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. Now that one is definitely my second favorite Christmas movie, right after It's a Wonderful Life. I have to watch both multiple times, and I love that there's a marathon of A Christmas Story every year. So yeah. One of my favorite scenes, and it's probably a favorite scene for a lot of people, is in the Chinese restaurant towards the end of the movie.
Oh yeah.
Finally got me. Oh man.
I was gonna ask Sean a question about the Alistair Sim Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Do you know the cameraman secret?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was going to write that because it's always fun to see Buddy standing out there behind the curtain there as he's looking in the mirror on Christmas morning.
Yeah,
But,
I love that.
Yeah, but I didn't mention it because I was going to go on too long. But yes, I love watching for that. It's those little things that you know the script, you know the lines, you know what's going to happen, but you're still always happy seeing it. And it sort of makes you, yeah, it's just comforting.
Oh yeah, we watch it every year too. It's
Yeah.
such a great film. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Anyone else? Any typing prompts or questions or comments or?
That's how I would see.
No. All right. We can check in on the chat again. Let's see. This is the one. What?
Type.
That's,
is
yeah,
that?
yeah.
That's
Typewriter,
funny.
baby. Type. Excellent. All right, I guess we're caught up with comments.
There's like 10 there though, Gregor. You should read them all out.
I know, huh?
Type,
And
type, type,
do
type,
each one a little bit.
Type.
We know what's on his mind.
What a slave driver.
Oh, yeah.
I notice that Gregory keeps muting me. My sister-in-law is here visiting, and she has as loud a voice as does my wife. And so when they get talking, it just fills the whole house with,
that's what
with
it
talking.
is.
Yeah.
Funny.
So don't blame you.
Okay.
Juliana refers to herself as a short, round mound of sound.
She's not round mound.
So, does anyone have a typewriter that they're currently on the hunt for?
Olympia and Hermes that aren't expensive.
Yeah, I was fixing to say the $25 Hermes 3000. That's what I'm still.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Curvy
Good luck on that one.
Hermes
We had a
$30.
$35 one
Less than
advertised
$100.
here this year.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, it looked minty too.
I
Wow.
once got two for $10.
It was
2 for 61, but that was a Sterling and a Remington quiet writer.
I would like a Halda with the Swedish characters. And I would like, I'm attracted to the Congress typeface, and I buy a lot of typewriters that are like similar or, but I actually don't have a Congress yet. So maybe I should just get a Congress, and it would have saved me so much money instead of buying the
Congress is awesome.
Right.
So yeah, a Congress.
To die for.
One note of caution: if you're looking for a Halder, make sure that it has its original ribbon spools with it.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
big deal.
Because-
They're special to that
because
typewriter. Ugh,
Those
they?
are
rare.
not
From experience.
proprietary
Okay.
spools that only Halder use, and any other spool will not work.
Well, I'm prepared to bide my time. Like I don't need it in a hurry.
Yeah.
I'll wait a few years until I spot the perfect thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
Definitely
really
for the
looking for that
typewriters.
IBM Electric I mentioned in some of the groups. If anyone has an old IBM Electric, hey, that'd be really exciting. Like a
So the big old
mid-30s.
electromatic,
Yeah.
Bob, you want the original electromatic. Like, there was one on eBay that I just saw yesterday that $25 or $30 or something like that. The guy said the drum spins really slow, but it's freaking monster, and it's got the carbons on the side, the carbon reel instead of just the regular ribbon.
That's on eBay, huh?
Yeah, I'll send you the link. I'll go back on and find it. I saw it last night at midnight. I didn't think you wanted me texting you, but
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. Apparently, there's a few people out looking for this model right now. So, but if anybody,
That's so crazy. A few years ago at Herman's, there were like people giving them back because now I can't think of their name, that family that they rescued all those typewriters. Where's Diane when I need her? Anyway, they had the Brumfields, and they had given them they just had like a huge stash of a million kinds of typewriters, but they'd given them to people the year before, and a lot of people realized like they couldn't really deal with them. And so a lot of them brought them back the next year.
Pairs.
I like to say adjusting those power wheels is like tuning a banjo. It's just a ton of work, but if you get it done every so often, I think you're okay. I just, being from the electronic background like I am, it'd be real easy to rebuild one and have fun with it. But
Well,
I don't know.
see if
Anyways,
you can find the Brumfields. Yeah, they might have some that they took back. I don't know.
yeah, I don't. Does Herman's sell typewriters? Can I call him and
No.
ask him if he's got one for sale? Yeah.
No, he doesn't
He
really.
collects them. He doesn't. sell.
you can call.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think so.
You can try it, yeah. No, but if you could find Brian Brumfield, they
Trey.
might have some still. They're not really in the groups on Facebook anymore, but they used to be. But well, actually, Ian might because
They're called the Brumsfeld.
Yeah, Brumfield. I think Ian was the son, and he's the one that's the all things royal. I think he was writing a book about him. So anyway, but yeah, they had rescued, from some guy that died, and then the family found out that the entire basement, the attic, every closet, every floor in between was just stuffed with typewriters. And yeah,
That's
that was a
gonna
few
be
years
me when
ago.
I die.
All of us, right?
That's how you are now when you're
Sorry,
alive.
daughter.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
With
funny.
friends
As long
like
as we
you.
don't-
Worth more, and my daughter
as
will
long as
be
we don't
rich.
find you buried under typewriters.
That's why I want to die.
That's the way to die. You're right. You're right.
Like, who was it, the Collier brothers? Oh, I have a question. Does anybody know where in Canada all those Underwoods were made?
Yeah,
Where in
Toronto.
Canada? What?
Those Underwoods were made that you were
Toronto.
Toronto?
Yeah, Underwood's factory was in Toronto. Royals was in Montreal. Remington was in Toronto. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, Underwood, Olivetti, yeah, Toronto. Don Mills.
I don't know if you can see that.
I can just barely see it. I can see that it's red and it
Oh.
has letters. Oh,
There you go.
limited. Toronto. There it is.
Yes, Toronto,
There you
Canada.
Wow. That's in beautiful shape that you have that original decal.
I logged on after the whole Underwood show and tell, but I do have a Olivetti Underwood Studio 44 that was made in Canada. So,
Oh,
yeah.
but it's
Oh,
very
nice,
heavy, and
nice.
I'm not going to turn around and look it out right now. But
it's not
Canadians
broken,
are
right?
very heavy.
Yeah, I had that.
We
too,
need
but
it for the winter. We need the extra.
that's right. Yeah. And if I had to have a wish list typewriter, I think an Alpina, but the metal body. So before they started doing the Bakelite, that's like way up there on my probably
Yeah,
never
yeah.
find it. But
Yeah. But I also need an Erica. Any of the Germans, bring them on.
oh yeah, yeah, they're gorgeous. I do have one Erica. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, I personally, after I did that little purge, getting rid of like 6 or 8 typewriters.
It was a few more than that, Gregory.
Okay.
Let's be honest. You did pretty good.
Be honest, Gregory.
But I feel like my collection is pretty happy. There's things, if they fell into my lap, I would probably get them, but I'm not really actively looking too much anymore. Of course, that doesn't keep me from, peeking on Shop Goodwill once in a while, but because, you don't want to miss that one in the million typewriter, but yeah. And actually, it's funny, May was showing that the Metallist, or she has the Metallist there. And that was one of the typewriters I was eyeing because we had talked about that in a previous meeting.
Yeah, I had one. Yeah.
And I considered reading out. I was like, no, it's okay. And I'm glad it went into your hands.
You're kind of in the perfect spot, Gregory, if we can just say that. I mean, you're not looking for anything. You're really controlling your addiction here. I mean, I'm very proud of you, my friend. Good for
Maybe
you.
this isn't the group for you anymore, Gregory.
Oh.
That's when you end up acquiring more, when you're not looking. It's like finding love. When you stop looking, that's when it happens. So
Yeah.
now that you're not
Right.
looking, you're gonna get like
I'm
12
just
more
joking, by the way. You're
I
absolutely
know.
right. But
Yeah,
we're
we
all
have to have a
suffering.
rule, at least one typewriter per month, right?
At least.
I have a couple Underwoods I can share.
Oh yeah,
Also,
definitely.
yeah.
So this one, I like travel themes, so I got this because of the logo.
Oh,
Nice.
And it's not working because the vibrator's not connected or whatever. So it's going to take some time to figure that one out. But mostly it's in good shape. Somehow there's a paid stamp on there, and it is paid. It's like it's not in debt for it. But some cleaning that might even come off. I don't know. But other than the vibrator, I like this. And I found another one. And that's right behind me. I don't know if I can get that here. Yep. It's a pretty large one.
Mhm.
And it's got
yeah.
also the same logo.
Yeah.
which was kind of hard to find one working. And this one does work. So
Nice.
it's really, really pretty cool. I've got a couple others, just that I've got a Champion and the Deluxe Leader.
I like the Champions that come with the field desk. Like the case is like a tripod desk. I would like it.
No, I didn't find that one. But those are kind of cool. Kind of a retro feel to them. I mean, typewriters are a retro.
Yeah, very cool. Excellent. Yeah, I don't remember who it was that showed the field desk. It was going a while back.
Gansky has one. Alton Gansky. Gansky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
they were they were showing us the field desk, and it happened to be a mill standard as well, or a mill writer.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got
$35 at a garage sale or something.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Wings.
Ooh, a cover.
Got that
Oh,
logo
that's
on
nice.
it.
That logo, yeah.
Oh, it was messed up. I mean, it was all crumpled and it was dirty, and I had to use dishwash. I washed it like a dish.
Yep.
Yeah.
That worked out. Yeah.
It does speed the world's business, though.
Mhm.
Looks like it's still in good shape.
Yeah.
Like it's not brittle or anything.
No tear. Yeah.
When I first got it, it was, I mean, it was caked up. It was just this stuff. But I just put it in, I put some dishwashing liquid in the sink, doused it in, kind of washed it like you would a wig or something. You know? And then next thing you know, I pulled it out, let it dry, and it came out like that, as good as new.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for you. I found a pink one lately that was manufactured by Royal, and it's extremely rare. I've never seen another one like it. So I've got one of those. I think I'm gonna end up putting it up on eBay. I tried to sell it last weekend at the market, but I think there's a lot of there's a lot in the covers. I mean, there is here in the desert. Actually, it was funny. I was talking to Lucas Dole
Oh, yeah.
a few weeks ago, and he goes, "I don't know why you ever invented your covers. They make no sense to me." And I said, "Well, you're in Chicago. You don't have the dust like we do here in the Southwest, you know." And he went, "Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense." So I think covers are so important to people like Gregory and I, and Monk. You know, people. I don't know, whoever else is out here in the Southwest. You guys just don't have the issue there where you are.
And
But,
up here in the prairies.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, dust is huge. So I'm hoping, yeah, this pink cover is extremely rare. I can't even find a picture or any mention of it on the internet. So I'm hoping somebody gets it and loves it. I thought that customer I repaired that pink Royal for a few weeks ago would want it, but they have a really nice case. So okay. So I think that'll be fun to see what that goes for on auction on eBay, you know.
Yeah, it's not just about cover too. I mean, about dust either. It's about saving the ink, because I noticed if I just leave it naked, like just leave the typewriter just with no cover, the ink will dry up all in the center here. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not just about dust, even if dust gets on it. I don't, all I care about really is protecting the ink. And so far I can pull a typewriter out and the ink is perfect, but the one that I experimented with and left with no cover, the ink was dried out. Yeah. So really,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't
No,
like
that-
to buy more.
Yeah, no, that's a huge benefit to having just a simple cover. And I really have to thank y'all. I mean, I think the only reason my covers are selling is because y'all promote them one way or another. And it really means I'm almost at the point where I'm about to break even on them. I did the numbers a week or two ago.
Yay.
I know, right? Because it was several thousands of dollars worth of investment, to get them going, and there's very little profit margin on them. So I think the future is bright where it'll become a common, just like felt and rubber pads have become a common under the machines. I really like that hamster. Joe called it that hamster perch. I'm just going to call it a Joe perch. I'd like to make a few of those and see if anybody wants them. If you saw that last video that Joe did with the perch, because
What's a hamster perch? What are you talking about?
Oh, it's really great. Instead of typing down low on like a 26-inch typewriter desk, when you tap in the middle on a standard 28, 29-inch desk that we use today, it can really cause issues in your hands. So he built a perch that's 4 inches taller. So you're basically typing up here with your forearms against your body. And he's typing in this video that I saw him using it. He was typing out on his desk that's out in his courtyard. I'm sorry, it's a table. It's a metal table in his courtyard. And I've gotten to type out there with him, and it's a great spot. But yeah, that table is the wrong height, and height is important after half an hour of typing.
So where's the perch? You sit on it? It's something you sit on?
No, I apologize. It's something you put under the typewriter. It's just made of wood, some 2x4s and plywood.
A
It's the size of
razor.
the typewriter. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just raises it up.
It's good if you're a T-Rex too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, when you're over 40, these things are important. I mean, Rich, you just gave us your age a little while ago, so that means you're in your early 60s.
I don't remember 40.
All of
Right.
You're living life right at the time, I guess.
There you go. No, I'm excited. It's all the little things like that, accessories that we can add to make things bigger and better. Bill and I both come from the music world, and you can't play a guitar on stage without somehow plugging it in, which means if it's an acoustic, you need a pickup, and then a volume knob's great, and you need a cord, and you need a strap, and you may or may not need a pick, and God forbid if you need a capo. So there's all these extras that add up with anything cool that you do, and it's very fun to get back in the world and discover them in typewriters. And if it's something as simple as some 2x4s and plywood, so you can sit there and type all day long without issue, good for you. Or maybe you move it around. Maybe 1 minute you're way down low and the next minute you're way up high. Maybe we're going to have 6-inch perches, 8-inch perches, all these things. So anyways, the future's bright with these themes, and I'm really enjoying providing them. We're doing a huge ribbon run right now. My son's across the table from me on the other side of the garage making ribbons for us.
Nice.
Making a lot of noise. To be 15 again and have all that power. But I did decide these ones are all getting metal. Metal. We got the what's that thing called? Jeez Louise, I can't remember to say.
The little grommets?
Oh, the baits. Yeah, we went with metal grommets. So we decided the plastic ones were cool, but they were making the ribbons funky. I was a big fan of the plastics, but as usual, the metal tends to have won. So I don't think we're gonna sell them. I'm so busy selling them at point of sale, for lack of a better term. I really don't have the ability to sell them on eBay or anything like that, but I might soon enough. We'll see what kind of stock we can get up. And the wonderful thing is the way I package them is they're good forever. So I could have Robert wind them all up and seal them today and sell it to you 5 years from now and think nothing of it. So I think so that's a benefit. So Robert's been a real trooper in doing up all of our ribbon sales and the cleaning kits. And I'll have to show it off sometime in a video, but I've got a great chewing tobacco dispenser that you see in like a liquor store. I have one of those, and that's what we're putting all the ribbon and all the cleaner cases in. So it's last week at the event, people really had good things to say about that. Every 10th person or so would go, "Hey, this is a chewing tobacco dispenser that's you see at a liquor store. That's great," But most people just thought it was neat because you put it in the top and it goes back and comes out. So when you pull out the bottom, something at the top happens, and we all love that mechanical stuff. I wish I could find a way to put them into vending machines. That would be fun. Like just walk up and drop your $10 bill in and vend you whatever you want, But I haven't figured that one out yet. We'll see.
Yeah.
You talk about the covers, and I remember a long time ago when I worked in an office that actually used typewriters before computers. It was pretty required to cover it at night. So you'd leave for work, you'd have to cover your typewriter. And in those days, I think we had vinyl. It was just the vinyl covering, especially with like the Selectrics. When we got into those, they came with their own cover.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty common. And I'm surprised there's not a lot of those left.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too many, and it's recommended still by people and manufacturers. And I wish more people, if more, every time I get a typewriter in for repair, I can tell if it's been covered or not right away. And 9 times out of 10, it hasn't. And 40% of that time, I'm sure the repairs I'm doing is because the typewriter was not covered. So, yeah.
I'd like the clear cover. I leave them out because I like to look at them. They're just kind of cool looking. But if I cover them up, then may as well put them in their box.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's why I enjoyed my. Rich, have you purchased any? Have you seen my cover yet? Does anyone have one of my covers available? There, it just covers the
There is
top.
one behind it.
Yeah, it just covers the top. It doesn't cover the side. It's a no scratch, strange soft material. And when it goes over the typewriter, you can still see it on the side. Because I agree with you, Rich. Like if you're going to cover it up, you might as well put it away. So this just keeps the dust off of it. Now, boy, I should really pay Natasha for this one.
I know.
But it'll
Yeah.
cover it. And sometimes it covers all the keys and sometimes it doesn't, but it keeps all the important stuff dust free. So
that's cool. I have like small towels I use too. So that's kind of like the same thing. But it's cool. You can just keep the dust from going straight down into the carriage.
Yeah.
That's
Well, this
cool. I
one.
like that logo.
Yeah, we've
Also,
got
they whisk off really easily. Like you can take it off and put it back on really easily, and I like that.
That was, thank you. And that was the most important part to me because I had different bath towels, kitchen towels, and they were all different. They all felt different. These are super pliable, machine washable. They're terribly soft and guaranteed not to scratch any machine, but whatever.
And lint free.
So that's like another tangent. I'd seen some places you could buy some clear vinyl in sheets and just sew them, some sides on them. So I was thinking about doing that, but that's a tangent I haven't explored yet. That way they'd at least be covered and visible.
Yeah, there's someone else doing it. I don't know if it was Jot and Tittle. It was somebody else who was making them, and they're gorgeous. My problem is I pull the cover off, and then where am I supposed to put it? Like I have to have enough desk space to put it somewhere else. Gregory's been to my house. I'm in a historic. I don't have room for anything. I barely have room for myself. So
we used to, the vinyl we used to use way back, 40 years ago, it was actually foldable. And so you'd be able to fold it into a little thing and just like stick it wherever, a drawer or
sure.
Whatever. So that way it's just a thinner, more flexible kind of vinyl.
Yeah, well, I've got a few that I'm selling that I had purchased new with the intent to use them, and then didn't get a chance to use them. Anywho, no, I get it. I think it's great that there are those great options. It didn't work for me. This one works for me. The cover that I made works for me, but I've learned I'm not always very cool, and I don't always know like the hip trendy, what I like other people may not like, right? Who knows?
Well, there's lots of fabric with typewriter logos you can get too, and I was thinking about ordering some of that and then just cutting that to size, but it'd be different for each typewriter. You kind of have to know the shape and size of each typewriter to make it unique.
Yeah, these are 15.5 by 18, so they cover most well. But an IBM Select, I think it was Care, somebody sent me a picture of them covering an SG1, and there was like 3 or 4 of them like that. They don't work for all of them, that's for sure. But
there's some that you've even contemplated. I work with leather too, is just making certain ones would look right with leather. So
that'd be cool.
And if you use a thin one, you can also fold it up too, so it doesn't, it's not a big thing you have to set on the side.
Yeah, no, that would be cool. No, I think there's a lot to that. It's no different than a case for a guitar. You put your guitar in a case. It's equally as important. So
if I put my guitar in a case, I won't play it, so I have to leave it out. it's the only way I play it every day. So.
Yeah, no, me too.
Same. So I started putting a towel over the guitar, so like at least it's halfway out of the case. Now you have to make guitar covers out of bigger bath towels that say guitar on them.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Like my old two are 23 and 25, so I still have theirs.
Oh.
I cover my typewriters with.
Wow.
I just kind of make the whole uncasing thing part of the ritual.
Yeah.
You know, I have the one standard machine that I keep on my desk all the time, and I've got the, you know, cover for it, so I keep it covered. But then I only have the only machine I ever have out is the one that I'm using to type with, and so it's kind of like when I get it out of the case, that's just part of my typing ritual, you know, part of the warm-up process. And so far I found that my desire and need to type overwhelms the reluctancy I might have to bother taking it out of the case and everything. And maybe over time that changes, I don't know, but I still get like giddy excited just to type.
Well, I've got them out at several. I mean, I've got like in my house here, 1, 2, 3, 4 desks. And so I've got different typewriters at them. Then I use one for my work desk. And so it's I don't have to take them out or put them away. And they're all different. Like I'll have a couple because they're at one desk just because they're different and they type different. They feel different. I've got another one that I type every morning on my kitchen table. And so it's just, they all have a specific kind of purpose, place in my head where I use them. I use them a lot too. I mean, I use them with cards and for work, and I'll type stuff on my notes on cards. And so they get a lot of use. And if I had to move them in and out of cases, it would just not work. I mean, I would.
That's part of the fun. It's like opening a present every time. It's like, oh, which box should I pick? I'm going to pick this one today. And it's like you get a fresh present every day.
I can definitely see the joy in that. Yep,
Yeah, there's some joy in it.
Yep.
I get a lot of joy from just having. I was trying to figure out how many typewriters I have out.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's cool.
I have like 6 or 7 just scattered around the house, you know, so I can just sit down and type whenever.
Nice.
Keep them handy.
I've got shelves on either side of my desk here, so I've got, and plus the typewriter table, so I've got like 7 of them sitting out here. So.
Oh wow.
Like an
The
orchestra.
standards are sort of by themselves, but
Yeah.
My
How do you
baby's
choose?
hair tucked into bed. I have cats, right? So the cat hair floats around everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
I have
You
to
gotta
cover.
cover.
Yeah, we've got dogs.
Yeah.
Same
we got a
story.
dog
But
in
one
here.
of the things that I actually find kind of fascinating is just how varied the case designs are, you know,
Mhm.
whether it's the system that they use to secure the typewriter or the design of the case itself. You know, just the different approaches that they took, whether, you know, the case top is only attached by like some hooks that slide in underneath, or if you have to push a lever to slide it off sideways to take the top off, or you know, it's just it's interesting to me. You have the what's the name of the 5 series case that Smith Corona developed, that the tan
Holiday-
aluminum
holiday
holiday
case?
case
Holiday
where you can
case.
snap
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole thing out, you know,
Yeah,
and
make your own
it,
fast.
I find all that really kind of interesting, you know, how
Sure.
Need like an extra hand. I have a hard time getting out my SM4 because you have to push down both side levers inside the case. Well, if I'm pushing down with 2 hands, how am I lifting the typewriter up? Like, I don't have another hand.
You push down with your
Your
thumbs,
finger.
lift with your fingers.
yeah, that's
Finger.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm not that.
Yeah, one
Yes.
one that confused me was I forget which typewriter it was. I think one of the older ones. And you know, you're used to the front feet being locked in, and so you unlock those. And I went to take it out. I was like, it's still in there. How come I can't get it out? And then it took me a couple minutes to realize there were latches on the back legs as well,
Yeah.
or back feet
A
as
royal.
well.
Or getting
Yeah.
it back
Yeah.
properly,
40s rolls.
like
Yep.
getting the hook in the hole. Like, I don't always get that right either. I'm like,
So that's the
Yeah.
first joy of getting a new typewriter, is figuring out how to get it out of the
How
case.
to get it out of the case.
Yes.
But there are some of them that I have, and I think it's usually the very modern ones in the 70s, not very modern, ones in the 70s where, and portables where the bottom is actually the outside of the case. And so the top clips to the back, and you really can't separate it. It is just the typewriter. So that kind of eliminates, you know, storage thing of while you're typing.
Yeah.
Where do you put that part? But
The
pretty cool.
the Triumph Gabriella E had me confused. Because how that secures is that the typewriter goes down over 2 pieces of rubber tubing. You then move the latches and it squashes the tubes.
What year was that?
60s.
61, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And so it works the same as a bilge plug in a boat. But if it's been sitting for long enough, those rubbers get so hard that you can't pull it off.
They weren't thinking too far ahead.
Yeah.
I have
I had was the Underwood Quiet Writer. That's the toughest case besides the what is this? The Sterling. The Sterling latches in the front. And then you have to take it out. It was weird too, but the worst one I've had is the for some reason the Remington Quiet Writer. But I was stuck in the sunflower field because I had done a photo shoot with my typewriters in the sunflower field, and I was stuck in the field trying to get the darn thing back in. I mean, because it's very particular how the feet are supposed to. So I look at how the imprint of the feet has been in there for like 50 years, the machine. So you see the before I got it, and then it's got the imprint of the feet. So I try to match it up. Even when you know you're putting it in right, it still won't clamp in. So it's like you're doing it over and over. I was like, no, I'm doing this right.
Yeah. Them away is just as hard as getting them out.
Yeah.
Well, you have to tip the front of the typewriter up about 30 degrees. Hook, I drop it over the latches, then hook it back, then drop it down.
You see,
complicated. You need a geometry lesson first before you can get your typewriter back in the case.
There are some that open, so when you do the latch to pop up the front, it's also the same button that lets the latch go on the inside. So you have to, and that took me a while when I first encountered that as well. How do I release that latch? And I'm looking all over for a way to press it. And well, what about this one? And it was the same one. So
which one was that? Member
not sure. I'm not sure.
That's how it was on my Electra 120.
Yeah, I think that.
Is I know that some of the Smith Coroners, you squeeze the latch in to open it, and you got to push the second latch up to release the typewriter from the case.
Yeah,
that's what I'm on the hunt for is a case for my Latera 22 because the case that it comes with is soft, and I want a hard shell. I need to be able to stack it on top. Like I need a hard shell case for my Olivetti.
Yeah, I just went and bought a case for one of mine because I needed it for this typewriter. So
that is heavy duty.
Wow.
SWAT team.
I mean, I didn't find anything else that would fit it. And it, the person that sold it to me, of course, I never heard from them. They was like, well, I need to go find the case. And I was like, okay, well, when you do, let me know, right? Well, that never happened. So
you can make a typewriter adventure movie using that.
Yeah. It's like Natasha's coming to type and you hear hut, 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 hut.
That'll be in the next Bond movie. You're going to be 007.
Right. That's the history here. Okay. So then pull this up and there it is. So,
that is well protected.
Wow.
That's what I need.
That's
so
how they should all be shipped.
Is that a gun?
To be honest, yeah.
Okay, that's what I need to buy then for my Olivetti. I need a gun case.
That's just a Pelican. I mean, it's a heavy duty, waterproof, seal it up sort of thing. That little dial on the front above the handle there, you can pull all the air out of it. And then you tighten that up to like get the air out of it. And then you can throw it in the ocean and then pick up your typewriter later and it'll be fine.
And the ribbon will be dry or
it'll
wet.
be dry still. It'll be good.
Yeah.
And you can use it for your guns too, Kimberly, if you want.
Yeah.
Well, we use shipping cases like that designed for computers. We do a lot of shipping for ex-military exercises and stuff. We send them down range and bring them back. And we have shipping cases, containers that go like that. It would be awesome. I mean, it's like, you know, two different worlds colliding. What a perfect function for packing a typewriter.
Yeah.
They cost like $75 each. So whoever sells the typewriter with that on it would have to also charge you for the case.
Well, that's what some people are charging for their shipping, like $100+. You should get a Pelican case for that, you know? So.
And how much do you pay when it breaks?
Yeah.
When it breaks, how much do you pay when you can't use a typewriter and have to find another one?
Depends on how bad it's broken.
Yeah.
Sometimes the full cost of the typewriter.
Yeah, I've got one that the frame broke, an old 19 something, and it was very irritating. And in the end, we split the price. I mean, he lost something too, but he could have done a better shipping job. I don't know. He had it actually in 2 boxes. So in one box, it was protected in one box, and that box was inside a larger box. But it still came in, and the iron on it was just, I think I could use some weld on it. I haven't addressed that yet, but it was very frustrating. I was looking for this Continental with this, they have these pictures on the front, and they had 2 different versions I could find of that picture. One had a train on it and one didn't, from the factory. And I finally found the one I was looking for, with the one with the train on it. And then when it came, it was just snapped, and it was very disappointing. But
that's heartbreaking.
Typewriter.
The person went to the effort to actually pack it up appropriately, and so they must have really abused it in transit.
Yeah. Frustrating.
The one thing I do is I put at least 3 of those red labels that say delicate instrument handled with great care.
See, I have to
Not
beg
just for-
them to do that. I have to beg them to do that. They don't do. I have to just beg them. Please put fragile on here. Please, please, please. If they don't do that, it won't be done.
So I had a Triumph 10, like a 1930, and it was almost pristine. I mean, it was very glossy, and I still use it. It's one of my main typers. But when they shipped it, it might have been the same guy. I'm not really sure if I remember that far back, but it came and it was less protected than the Continental was, still well protected. And it came perfect, absolutely perfect. I mean, so, who knows? It's like the roll of the dice with, actually, I got that from a guy in Germany. So it went from a town in Germany to another town in Germany. So that was not as big it wasn't an overseas shipping, but it's still, I was glad it came the way it did. It's so frustrating with a Continental.
Yeah, it is a crapshoot. I know that the couple of machines that I got via Shop Goodwill had the packaging was basically some crumpled up brown packing paper, like just 2 sheets of it for the whole typewriter, and then it was in a box that wasn't much bigger than the typewriter case itself, and the machines are both perfectly fine. And when I saw how small the box was when it was dropped off, I'm like, oh, this is not going to be good. And amazingly, there was no issues. So,
oh, wow.
It's just weird the way it works out sometimes.
They take a tumble sometimes not.
Yeah.
Well, I should toddle here. I've got things to go and do. Been great talking with everybody.
Yeah, good seeing you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Gotta go help Santa in the workshop, do you, William?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yes.
Crank out some typewriter accessories.
Wear the hat until New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Take care. God bless
now
everyone.
you know what we all want for Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
And bye, Mike, as well.
All right, bye. Well, I'm out of here too, so I'll see you all next time. So anyway,
bye-bye.
good talking to y'all.
Bye, Michael.
Likewise.
What else could anybody possibly have to do other than this?
I know, right? We're here all day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not quite.
we have last week to make up for it.
I know.
6 hours today.
Yeah. Actually, I was just going to say, my wife and I are headed to, we live like 2 or maybe 3 blocks away from historic landmark. It's the Heritage House, which is a Victorian era house. And maybe like 3 times a year, they have an open house. So today is one of those days. So we are going to be getting ready for that.
Nice.
But before we do go, does anybody else have any last minute comments or questions or typing prompts or anything like that? Yes.
Just a quick comment. The main reason that I have been missing so many meetings lately is just health related, and it's not a big deal, but I almost did a blog post on like how upset I get when I miss out on my Typewriter Club Live meeting, because it's always such a pick-me-up, I always really appreciate gathering with all of you, and it's a great way to, get ready to kick off a new week, and so I'm just glad to have been able to participate once again.
If
Yeah.
we can raise your health bill, we're more than happy to do so.
They say laughter is the best medicine, right?
Indeed.
Gregory, I want to leave us with a little funny thing I just read online that I typed out because I thought it'd be a good way to end. It's a quick letter to Santa. Dear Santa, yes, I was naughty this year, and it was totally worth it, you fat judgmental bastard.
Excellent.
We'll wait for his reply.
That's right.
Oh man. That was so
Oh, there.
Underwood. I got so many Underwoods, I forgot. It's an Underwood champion.
Danger Underwoods every day.
Before,
I like how the spacebar matches the badge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The green badge ones have green typewriter or space bars too, so you could get both of them if you really wanted to collect that much.
Oh, okay.
match
And do a Christmas thing, right?
Oh, wow. That's nice.
Yeah, I like it when they do that. The first facet machine that I ever looked at, or faucet, however you want to pronounce it, it had green keys, but there's nothing else on the machine that matched the keys. Like they could have done the blocking behind the logo in green or something. And it was like, this just feels off to me. There's no complementary, use of that color anywhere. So like when they match up a part of the machine like that with the insignia, I like that look. It just feels more comforting,
Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely feels more like it was planned rather than oh, we just have this red part. Let's put it on.
Toss these on this run.
Excellent. All right. Well, so we're going to have our meeting next week. I haven't put it on the events page, but I'm going to do that. But as you all know, it's been a little rough, but I'm getting better every day. So yeah, I look forward to seeing everybody next week. We're again on Saturday. We're gonna have the type and talk. It seems like a pretty consistent little group in there, but they all seem to have fun.
To both. Yeah, it's the highlight of my week. I look forward to both. I hate missing even though I know they're two and they're back to back. I'm like, I don't want to miss any of them.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
I was a little sleepy last night. I had to go.
Oh,
I've had a
So
good
I
time
can
when I
prepare for today.
participated.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
Yeah,
Here.
the
It starts
type
at
and talk.
11 here.
Yeah, it's
so-
past my bedtime.
I know.
Hardcore dedication.
Yeah. All right. So, and then of course on Sunday we'll have Typewriter Club Live. So thank you so much, everybody. And it's been wonderful again. And
always
next week.
See you.
See you, everybody.
Thanks, Gregory.
Thank you,
Thanks, Gregory.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everybody.